That was weird.
What happened?
It was like really glitchy. There was a couple times where it like skipped the song.
Oh, weird. It didn't on my end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting. Well, you know what that means.
I don't think we've been fingered on shooting the shelf before. I don't think we've been fingered on shooting the shelf before. I don't think we've been fingered on shooting the shelf before. I don't think we've been fingered on.
I keep forgetting that's
no.
Stop.
I don't think we've been fingered on shooting the shelf before.
Why is it looping? I turned it off. I know how to work technology.
Sure you do. Interesting.
Yeah.
You want to tell
morning, everybody?
There you go. There it is.
Welcome to Shooting the Shelf, episode 15, season 4, which means it's like 155 or 45 or some sort of numbers.
And like what? Like 2.5 years straight without missing a week?
Almost. Actually, if we make it to June, I think late June, it would be 4 years straight, which unfortunately, spoiler alert, we're not going to. Because of this guy right here, I'm pointing to myself, not Curtis. Spoiler alert, next Sunday night, no episode. Curtis is going to be doing something on his channel, I think, but
I am not actually. I forgot it's WrestleMania. So I took the opportunity to tell my daughter that I would have a weekend of no YouTube. So that we
wow. Hey, look at that. So family time. I got a brother and sister-in-law coming in from Springfield, Missouri that I have not seen in I have not seen my sister-in-law in over 10 years. And my brother, it's been 5 or 6 years. So it'll be really good to spend some time with them. So yeah, no episode next week. Enjoy your Easter break. Chris will be really happy that we're giving everybody Easter night off. Because that's what you do. You don't do YouTube on Easter.
Yeah. There you go.
Or something like that. Yeah. Who do we got out there, Curtis?
Let's see. We've got Dave Orkin is out there. We've got Junkie and Crafts and Builds. Dub 3. Dub 3. We got Just Shelve, which normally would be Jesse, but it was me typing under his name. So yeah. Let's see. We got James is here. We got Patrick, PB, PB and J. Carver Customs, Brian Lynn. He'll be at that Mythic meetup coming up in Sacramento. Spoiler, I may be there too. We'll see. Ooh. Yeah. Darla Akerman's in the house. I know her. We got Stacy Lynn. That's 3 Lyns. So not sure if Stacy's going to be in Sacramento. Stacy, let us know in the comments. We got Guaisagwe Echevarria. Actually, that was terrible. We'll get back to that. We'll come back to that. We got Who Left Some Warlock in the house. David Williams. He'll also be at the Mythical meetup. We got Chef Brendan Higgins. Jeremy Gouvier. Scrolling. We got Kirby is here. Mark Rivera. Rob Zamora. Santos Rivera. So 2 Riveras, 3 Lyns, 1 Orkin. Captain Firebeer Baker is here. Action Figure Girl. So we got 2 Orkins in the house. Thomas Belay. Rick Jones. Bill English. We got Seth, Thunderstorm Heart, Pink Lemonade. So we got a couple Echevarias here as well. It's a family affair, Jesse. Tyler Stevens is here. We got William Husted, Purple Gang. Kevin McCoy. We got one of the McCoys here. Schmerberberger. Somebody must have hit the like button because we got Trevor Williams in the house. Faisal is here. Mecharive. Sure, we're gonna go with that. Van Johnson. Look at that. There's the other McCoy. We got both McCoys. So a couple Echevarias, couple McCoys, couple Orkins, 3 Lyns, and a partridge in a pear tree. So
did you say Mike something?
I don't give a fuck.
No,
his name was Mike.
No.
Fucking Mike.
No, I said Mecharive, but there you go.
Just kidding, Mike. And we do have a mic. We have Junkie and Crafts Mike. That mic is not for you.
But
I just really love that sound clip.
We're gonna get back. There was another name. I think I'll have our guest come on and try to help us with it. But speaking of guests, the song says to bring a friend or two, right? And while we don't have two separate guests, we do have one with multiple personalities. So let's bring them on out. We got Chris Gawrych.
So I told them I will not go on their show tonight. I'm on their show tonight. Oh, sorry.
What's going on, man?
Just braiding my hair, Dickie.
Appreciate that. Hey, can you, how you pronounce this name here? Here, I'll give you the first name, Gawrych, and then last name is
Echevarria.
Nope, that's
no.
I don't think that. I don't think you got
it. Itchawipa.
Close. It was very close.
Eshivar. Yeah.
That'll work.
That will not work at all.
I mean, it's close enough. Wow.
Kempu got nothing on me.
Yeah.
Someone's waddle Jordan, just got twiddled.
Yeah, Jordan, make sure you clip that. We need to keep that one.
And
did you say you were braiding a neck merkin? Is that what you said?
Yeah. My little Dickie, my kerchief, my scarf, my whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna go to work tomorrow like this and see if anybody notices.
Oh, that's awesome.
They probably
we got Dirk's Designs here too. Dirk, I may have just picked something up for you at a convention today. Spoiler alert. Well, Chris, we wanted to have you on. It's Palm Sunday. Next week's Easter. Wanted to have a nice talk about the toy line. But before we do that, at the start of the show, we do a little something called shelf selections.
But before we do that, we do a thing called Super Chat from Hula Some Warlock for $2. You motor boat and son of a bee, purple heart, purple heart, purple heart, purple heart.
Yep. And then shelf selections where
go ahead. I gotta stop you for 1 second.
Yeah.
My camera is not moving right now, so my video is paused. I'm assuming you guys can see me moving, right?
We can see you moving.
Yes.
This is very strange. So I'm going
That's a very inappropriate gesture.
Hey, listen, all gestures are inappropriate. I might have to
leave
my
and come
computer.
Back.
Yeah, this is really weird. I think I broke it with G's name.
That it's possible for sure.
That's so
weird. I mean, do what you got to do. We'll get rolling on shelf selections, and we'll pull you back on once we see you on there.
Okay, put me in the green room. I'm gonna just refresh and see.
Okay. I don't know how we're gonna know when to bring him back on though. He'll give us one of these, down at the bottom. So, all right, let's get into shelf selections, Jesse. First one is one of mine. This is from Toy Immersion, and you got this creepy thing. This is like nightmare fuel. I just looked at this and I was like, that is creepy as hell, but it's also cool. So that's it. That's all I got, man. What do you got?
I echo all those sentiments. What's the scary part? The green shoes with the red hoodie on the victim, or?
I was thinking more like just this fully decked out fur and cart, like I don't know, and then the dead head and the big club and the mask but I mean I guess the green shoes with the red shirt kind of too. Yeah, for sure.
Did I say what? No. What? Yeah, no, this is great. I think this is what Dylan was showing off on OffWorld Friday.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool public transport.
There you go.
We got another super chat from our good friend and pal Kevin Maboots 77 $4.99. Hello, shooters. Wait, that sounds wrong. How about shelfies? Shelfers? Shelf.
There you go.
Shooter
Shooter McGavin.
Technos?
Yeah. Eat turds like you for breakfast.
Gross. You eat turds for breakfast?
No.
No, this is a great shot. Cool figures. I dig it. It's very atmospheric, and you know, even though it's not actually outside, I feel like I'm outside, and I want to go home.
I like creepy trees. I like those.
Creepy trees are nice.
What was that that movie that you had me watch on Netflix? Where or not Netflix, Apple TV, with the two people on either sides, like, you know what I'm talking about? They're like guarding that thing, the big like canyon.
Oh, the gorge.
Whatever. Yeah, this looks like down there, like when they were down at the bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, all right. Next, this is one of Jesse's.
This is from Boba Chuck. I know we've got some of his Dio pieces with Wolf King that we get to set up sometimes, depending on the venue. And Boba Chuck.
That just happens if you say Wolf King.
Apparently.
Huh. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's a little bit of delay on that one. But yeah, Boba Chuck, awesome shot. I really dig the helmet. I don't know where the helmet came from, but I think
that like may be one of the ones that Corey's been doing lately. Okay. I'm not positive, but I know he's been selling some helmets. So
I like the mix of the parts, how he's got the wraps from the waist piece. Anyway, you can see it. For those of you that are listening to this audio and not paying attention, just go look at Boba Chuck's page and find the cool monk with the battle helm. It reminds me of a character from Vox Machina, one of the like side characters they meet at one point, who's like a monk and like a like champion of the Storm Lord or something, and it just feels very epic and like it's about to go down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool pose and you know, shot. Looks like, you know, maybe he's summoning some elements or something. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what's all going on. I like the whatever this shoulder armor is. That's pretty cool. Yeah, nice little shot. So next, this is Ture Zero on Instagram. This is one of the Echevarria clan, and he put this together this week. Did this amazing paint job with some Wolf King parts, and even, you know, threw some credit to my channel for some, you know, some stuff that he picked up. Looks like maybe he picked up some patina stuff from Matt Stein. I know Guaisagwe was talking to me about him, you know, kind of mixing some paints and kind of coming up with colors. Which, you know, we talked about with Stephen Bisciotti this past week. So yeah, I mean, this made me really happy, just kind of seeing that somebody's picking up some things from that channel, getting something from it, and it's encouraging them to, you know, get out there and be creative. I think this just turned out awesome. I absolutely love it. So
yeah, the Jester head, this looks really great with these parts. The colors are great. The green and the red work really well on this combo, as opposed to the green and red on the earlier photo. No, I'm just kidding. Green and red always look cool. This is great. Love seeing this, and excellent job, Turi.
Yeah, normally I go for like the hey, welcome back. I go for the more kind of bright, clean aesthetic. So having it like more like tarnished and stuff and dirty wouldn't be something that I would do, but I love seeing it. I think this came out awesome. So, Chris, any comments on this one done by one of the Echevarria clan?
Perfect. Love it.
There
Stick a fork in it because it's done.
There you go.
That's pretty cool. I
next
like it.
one is from Jesse.
Nice shot.
This is from SG Inc. _labs. Yeah, I just thought this took me a minute to process what all I was seeing with Attila. No, Atlas. No, Attila. Riding
Leoseer. He's got a lion. Leoseer. Correct.
Bishop. with the lance and everything. Just, it looks like he's fully going into like a tournament or something. He's running late or something, but it's a great shot. I love the kind of misty fog coming up from the stream. It's a really fun shot.
Yeah, I like the different, like, over the top perspective looking down on him. The fact that he's got him holding the alternate head, which makes it look like he's holding his helmet. Yeah, just really cool shot. I like it. A little stream there. It looks like this is an outdoor shot, but I don't know if it's, if it's not. They did a really good job of making it look outdoor with the little stream there, but
as opposed to like a dio, you mean, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, it looks really cool. Chris?
Yeah.
Any comments on the picture?
No, it's good.
All right, there you go, folks.
No, I like it. It's very cool. It is a great perspective too, because you usually don't get too many shots like that. Like, it's a nice action shot over the head, bird's eye view.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I even like they have the shield up there on the saddle loop, I guess, that's up there.
Mm-hmm.
And holding the helmet. I mean, it's all really cool. Everything is very easily recognizable, clean. I mean, it's very cool.
I really like those new shield clips that came with Conobus, where you can put it on a strap like that. Those are really cool. So I'm not sure if he's using that here or the normal shield handle, but those things are neat. So
yeah.
Next, this is from Telltale Art Customs, which is our good friend Nate Armstrong, and he's been doing some Sesame Street things. Of course, he's decided to do them right as NECA starts putting out Sesame Street stuff. But he was doing a count, and he reached out to Darla and asked if she could do a cape for him, especially for the count. And she did. We actually just sent this off a couple days ago, and he had it and immediately threw this together. I guess he had already worked on the other parts, and yeah, just did a great job. So nice work, Nate. Jesse?
1, 2, 3 awesome figures in this picture. I don't know why there's 3. It's really cool. I love it. I really dig the exploding lightning or whatever that effect is behind him. It makes him feel a little more epic.
Yeah. And Chris.
So it's interesting because right at the beginning, I was going to make a joke about how this looks like the Count from Sesame Street, not knowing that was the intention of it. So good job. That is pretty funny.
That's the exact.
Can I tell a real quick story about how stupid I am?
Sure.
So in college one year, for fall break, I went with some friends back to where they lived in, I think it was like Appleton, Wisconsin, somewhere in that area. And I'm hanging out with my friend at her house with her family and everything. And we're playing, was it Pictionary, where you draw? And so I'm like 19, 20 years old at this point. I didn't put together the pun of the Count. Like, I knew he was the Count and I knew he counted, but like the play on words of it didn't hit me until that game. And they all looked at me like, oh, our girl brought home the special boy.
Very nice. Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention on here that I thought was cool was that is a Varg head that he used, but he made sure to like give it like eyebrows and facial hair and hair up top and stuff.
That is funny because honestly, I thought I didn't even recognize it as a Varg head. I thought it was one of the Super 7, the worst figurehead. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
because I'm just putting paint on it changed it so completely for me, you know.
Well, he did do some sculpting work on it. I'm not sure whether he uses epoxy sculpt or green stuff or what, but yeah, he did some sculpting work on it. But yeah, it came out great. So,
Terrence is very funny.
I think he grinds up bones and like makes his own, like with spit, and makes his own like homemade,
kind of like a bird's nest.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Next one's one of Jesse's.
So this is from our buddy Mike in the chat, Junkie and Crafts and Builds. I just took this really fun picture of Samir. I just thought it was really cool the way he's got this lit and he's got that light. I don't know if it's an effect or just the way he got the light just right on it, but I just thought this was really cool and really makes this like I think this is a really cool figure and character, and getting to see people doing photos with him is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody post about like moving on from Necronominus too quickly, which I don't know that happened, because I think people have really been appreciating Necronominus and kind of talking it up as maybe the best wave that the Horseman's done. But I think Poxus went by really quick. Like Poxus, I think people just kind of, we got him, we talked about him for a little bit, and then we were on. And so seeing these wizards getting a little bit of love, I think is really cool. I love the glow effect here with the eyes, and just the, where the staff is kind of blurred in the front and like that purplish background. Yeah, this is really cool. I like the way that this came out. So
I'm kind of disappointed, Curtis. You should have really gone with when you said something like seeing these wizards, getting a lot of love is really cool. It should have just been seeing these wizards get a lot of love is really wizard.
Oh, yeah.
That was a missed opportunity right there.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't want to, I don't want to act like I like these figures too much, because I'll get accused of being a shill and a white knight. You're not allowed to like your toys. That's a new thing.
Hey, Curtis, don't worry. We give you enough free product that it doesn't matter. Just kidding. We do not.
Wait, he gets free product?
I mean, he does, but for this, episode, he doesn't.
Folks, I'll be looking for a new host.
We did get one figure from him, because we did the Shadow Orc Grunt. We did the review on
the reveal review.
Yeah. So that was, yeah.
Otherwise, it's all organic.
Next is one of my picks, and I actually saw this artist. I was at a little convention here in town today, QuadCon, which they hit up a bunch of states, like pretty much every week throughout the year, but mostly in the Midwest. And I was going down to see our buddy Steve Mank from Articulated Empire. And while I was there, I saw this artist that had this amazing Jinx drawing. And I saw it and I was like, dude, and it has like some sort of like color shift element to the print too, which I thought was really awesome. I was like, man, I'd like to get that for Jesse. And then I was like, I don't know how I would get it to him without it like bending and getting messed up. But I made sure that I got the guy's Instagram, and I scrolled until I found this picture so that I could use it as a shelf selection tonight. But this is DJW32 Art on Instagram. Yeah, I just thought this came out awesome. So
when you say color shift,
don't look for DJW 30 or 1 to 31, just 32.
Yeah. First 31, they're hacks. So, yeah.
When you say color shift, was that like kind of like a metallic-y type thing or a hollow-y type thing? Like what was it?
It kind of looked like almost like a color shift metallic, but maybe a little bit of a hologram aspect to it as well. I'm not sure what they did on the print, but it was really cool.
That's interesting. I'd love to see that.
Jesse, thoughts on this one since I picked it out for you?
I think it's great. I hate to do this to you, Curtis, but it does say boom enabled. That one counts. Write it down.
Wow.
No, this is really great. I got to put the slideshow together this week, so when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, did Curtis pick this for me?"
I did. I did.
And I mean, even though I know you like Arcane as well,
mm-hmm.
I got my Hot Toys sitting right up here. My Funko Pop. But no, this is great. The colors are great. Seeing it in person with that color shift is probably really cool. So yeah, this is really awesome. Congrats to the artist, and thank you, Curtis, for pandering to me.
Yep.
Was the color shift more like the background or the character or everything?
It was more the background.
Okay.
Yeah. And, folks, if you're not already following this artist, make sure you give them a follow, because that's what we do. We follow cool artists, and that makes our Instagram that much cooler.
And make sure you follow before you screen grab any of their pictures to send to someone.
Exactly. Jordan out here says that he saw my video. I posted a video on YouTube as well as Facebook, and then he follows that up with a oof. Which I'm not sure what that's referring to.
No idea.
There was a Sir Uksak box that was laying down on the table that looks like it had fallen over for some reason. So maybe it has to do with that. I don't know.
Even in the box, it falls over. I don't understand how that happens.
Can't stay up.
Should have packed them upside down.
Next one is Jesse's.
Ooh, cool.
This one I cheated because normally I try to get actual pictures, but this was on I think it was a story. It wasn't moving or animated or anything. So this is Dorkler, our buddy Bill Dranowski. It took me a minute to process what the Skeletor in front was before I realized it was a Glyos figure of some sort. But I just really love the scale proportion of him to the Defenders of Eden Armies of Ashmore figure from Matt Rod, and seeing the green Ankylosaur's head is pretty cool. Yeah, I just really like the size comparison and thought that was a fun kind of down low shot.
That's cool.
Again, it looks like he's playing with his toys on his desk, and outdoor shots and that are two things that usually grab my attention.
Yeah, Dorkler does a great job. I know he was working on his getting the collection of Triceratops. He had another picture showing that. Just having fun with these Armies of Ashmore. The line came out great.
Thank you.
Kudos to Matt Rod and any of the people he selected to work with him on it.
Excuse me. Hello. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, I made your toys. Okay.
I also learned that Len from Wolf King.
Yeah.
Recent lives, he
spit my drink out.
Prototype and stuff with them. So that was cool. I did not know that.
Yep. So they're awesome. Hopefully everybody gets there soon. I know I saw some things from this weekend where Matt had some friends over trying to help get those all shipped out. Because that's what you do when people back your Kickstarter and they place orders with you. You ship out their orders, before you start selling them to regular people and stuff.
Amateur hour. Sounds like amateur hour. You got that in hand, you sell it. You sell it before you ship it. Sell, baby, sell.
But I think
if a certain VJ has placed an order with you, you make sure that is the very last order to go out.
Gotcha.
Well, on my social media post to promote the show tonight, I said if you don't come watch, your stuff's going to the end of the D13 order line. So,
wow, interesting.
No matter what, they won't be dead last.
So that is
that reserved for someone special.
That is it for shelf selections. I did want to show off something that I found out today. So. For those of you that aren't aware, they have started a new YouTube show for AWOC. It's called The Tribe. It's every other Sunday afternoon. It's on the Saturday Morning Toy Collector channel. And one of the things that they've been, kind of hounding me about, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why they're hounding me, but is to try to get Darla to do some capes for AWOC figures. And while we haven't specifically done one for AWOC, I did try one of her dwarf capes on an AWOC figure that I got today from Steve Mank from Articulated Times. And I think it looks pretty good. Maybe could stand to be a little bit longer, but all in all, I think that came out pretty good. So there you go. If you need some capes for your AWOCs, hit us up when we're at Legions Con. May have some stuff that works for both Legions and AWOC. So
very cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Does great work.
She tries. It's just, one person. The demand is much higher than the supply. You know what we need to do? We need to try to sell it twice, like D13 Toys. Sell it to a Kickstarter and then sell the same one to other people in person.
Learn from the wise. That's all I can say. I mean, what you also is just procreate like there's no tomorrow. Have about 50 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But
child labor. Yeah,
you gotta have that fast growth. Give them a lot of hormones.
There you go.
There you go. Instant factory.
You know, I still got 3 kids in the house. I should probably get them on assisting with that.
I don't know what you're waiting for.
Jesse, you look like you had a thought.
I'm just figuring, like, I feel there needs to be some sort of legal disclaimer thrown out here, but I don't know which one to make. The views of Chris and Curtis do not necessarily reflect those of Just Shelve It or Shooting the Shelve.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that Darla would not let any of our kids touch her capes. I can tell you that for sure. So, yeah, especially if they're using her sewing machine, that's not happening. So, so Chris,
sewing machine, that's cheating. You might as well be doing 3D sculpting.
Right.
That was sarcasm.
Yep. So, Chris, D13 Toys. This is what we're going to talk about because we've got some figures. There's already people got a few in hand. You were able to bring a couple boxes back, right, from China.
I muled it.
And get some samples out there. And the rest should be coming in the near future. So we want to kind of talk about, what's going on with that, what that timetable looks like, and then also what is next for D13 Toys. What kind of ideas are on the horizon or timetable might we be looking at for the next wave? So what you got for us?
Nothing.
Okay. That's cool.
Show's over.
Is it true that you smuggled them back in a rubber balloon?
It's true. It's true. I mean, do what you got to do to get people their stuff
damaged.
That wasn't the only box damaged.
It's the only one I saw.
Yeah, I walked a lot funny. It was a long journey. It's a long journey. Well, happy Palm Sunday or whatever today is. Today's the 13th. No coincidence. 13.
And that was another thing too. Like, yeah, you got to hit on the 13th. Come on.
Yeah. It would have been great if this
13th of March.
Would have been. Would have been great if this was the 13th episode too, but we can't have everything in life, can we?
No.
So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what's going on right now because I'm so busy with a hand in everybody's project. I'm fingering everybody's project, and new projects on the horizon, old projects in the distance, current projects in your face. I mean, it's just the way it is. That's how life goes.
Yeah.
So obviously I can't talk about what's coming up. Matt stuff is coming out. That stuff was pretty cool. Had to put Matt, back in line a few times. He was getting a little uppity. Don't tell him I said that.
Of course. Was that? Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
Exactly.
Rewatch the video. You'll see there's nothing.
I don't rewatch the show.
413, fourth letter of the alphabet is T. Oh, yes, Bill. Yes.
Wow.
I fully support that.
Wow,
fully support that.
13 day.
Yeah.
Stay in school, folks. Become a teacher and stay in school. Never stop learning.
Joe says lots of words, little info, typical Chris. So
cheers.
But you were able to get some over here. Some folks have gotten them in hand, and everything I'm hearing is great. Like, people are loving the soft goods, they're loving the articulation, the presentation of the box is amazing. So yeah, I mean, can you talk to us a little bit about how that process has gone for you and what, I mean, obviously you've had your hands in a lot of people's toy lines over the years, but actually producing this one that you've thought about for a while, are you happy with how everything's come out?
Mostly, as an artist, you're never satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's definitely, I will never say what I'm not satisfied with because that'll be a mystery. But there's always a lot of things that I'm not satisfied with. And hey, Brendan. And it's kind of one of those things where in future, I was gonna say episodes, in future releases, just things to kind of keep in mind for myself. Overall, I think everything turned out good. I was happy to be able to get some production at the show in Japan, Wonder Festival, and then also here at Zolicon, and just to get a few out. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 of every character. That's about it. That's all that's out right now. But soft goods, you know, I upgraded the soft goods to have wire in the sleeves and the bottom of the robe. I think that helped out a lot. It also increased the cost, but you know, I wanted it to be, you know, really good. I just felt like you weren't getting like movement, you know, in a standard robe. And you know, the other thing too is like you look at all the beautiful statues and art that's out there, and those statues are life size or bigger, and they have all this beautiful wrinkles and everything, a flow, and you can never ever get that at in a 6-inch toy. So at least just having the wire helps give it a little bit of life and a little bit of flow in there.
So the only thing that has more life and rolls and folds in their capes is a Todd McFarlane drawing.
That is absolutely true.
That's not an insult, Curtis. That's just a fact.
What about the packaging? Like, that's something that I think everybody's been super impressed with. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you have a you know, typical, oh, look at that. I actually happen to have one right here. That was totally by accident. Oh, hey! Which character is it?
Winses.
John the Baptist.
African Jesus, Jordan's favorite. So, I mean, when I was doing it, like, I wanted it to look like a Bible, because obviously that makes the most sense, right? I mean, come on. And so, but I didn't, you know, you have your typical like NECA, you know, figure. Excuse me. And you know, it's got that soft kind of cover, you know, and it does have the cover. Jordan said I read that cover to cover.
He did. He was on the show yesterday. He was going,
and done.
Yeah.
And so, like, I wanted it to be a little bit more, I don't even, like, I want to say professional, but that's not really the right word. I mean, just more upgraded, you know, from a standard
presentation, like on a shelf.
Oh yeah, and when you have that on the shelf, I mean, it looks awesome. And then you got all the different colors. I think it was like 6 or 7 different colors of the book. You got red, green, blue, black. Well, actually, this is kind of a brown. So brown, green, blue, black, red, gray, gold. I think that's all of them. So, and it's just cool to just have them all up there, right? And I wanted it to be, I definitely wanted to have a nice presentation. I wanted to have, you know, a really cool, you know, piece of artwork in there. Unfortunately, here's something I'll tell you I'm not happy with. The factory didn't center this very well, because it should have been, you know, he should have been more about there.
Gotcha.
But it is what it is. And you know, so I wanted it to look like a book and feel like a book. That's why I had this page in here. And I thought it'd be cool, you know, to have that bio, then English, Spanish, and Hebrew.
Oh, nice.
And my little dedications and everything. And I forgot a few people, so I'm sorry to all the people I forgot. And yeah, I mean, it definitely, I mean, it's, you know, it's like a book. It's ridiculous. This is like a book cover. It's insane. And it did cost more, but I knew that going in. I knew it was going to cost a little bit more. But I think at the end of the day, something like this will help prevent people from stealing my Jesus.
Yeah, you don't want them stealing your Jesus. So
no, I don't.
Yeah.
Can I make something I like about this, other than everything you just described? I like the way this slides out of
very easily.
The tray.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, it's, you know, so even if you took that out, like, you could put this up there without any packaging, like nothing gets ripped. There's no tears. There's no tape.
Very, very customer friendly. Yeah, and that little stained glass in the back was basically, it's a friend of Diego, Laura, and I've, you know, met with her a few times, and then I needed help kind of finalizing the box art and kind of laying everything out and getting all this crap, you know, And I forgot that this is what she did. And Diego's like, oh, well, why don't you talk to her? And I was like, sure. So we met up a few times, and she really helped out a lot. And she kind of just did that quick little design. We were trying to think of something to put back there, and I was just like, I think it might have been her idea, honestly. And I'm on the outside. Now I'm looking in. Oh wait, we're not at karaoke. Sorry. And yeah, I wanted it to be, again, like a really nice presentation where you're really keeping everything. It's like it's all kind of, you can put it on a shelf. It'll really protect your figure, and hopefully you won't throw it away.
Well, we'll get back to D13 in a second, but one thing I wanted to ask you about tonight, and since Kent brought it up, talking about people stealing your Jesus. So was hearing a little bit last night, and I read an article today that our buddy McFarlane, he had a whole container of Supergirls. The entire run of their most recent Supergirl was hijacked and stolen.
What?
And yeah, so they've sent out an email to folks from the McFarlane store. Walmart also sent out an email because they were supposed to get them, and apparently nobody's getting Supergirl now because some thieves hijacked the entire shipment.
Somebody's getting Supergirl.
I misread that. I thought it was just the Walmart shipment got stolen.
No, my understanding is the entire run is missing. So
wow.
Yeah,
black market Supergirl.
Yeah, speaking as somebody that's had your Jesus stolen, what would you do? If you're working with a company, like a Matt Rodriguez or something like that, and the entire run of a toy just up and disappeared.
Well, I mean, first of all, when somebody was trying to steal my Jesus, that was one Jesus. Right. I could live with missing one Jesus. If it was an entire, whatever it was, container, trailer, box truck, whatever, I don't know what the size was. I don't know the circumstances. Was it at the port? Was it after it cleared the port? Did a helicopter fly in and airlift it off of the freight, ship while it was in the middle of the ocean? I mean, was the likeness such trash, that maybe McFarlane didn't want it out there and he had them toss it over the side of the boat? I don't know. I mean, there's too many variables here that it all depends on at what point and where did it happen,
So let's go ahead, Jesse.
As you say, according to the email one that you linked, Curtis, it says, from Walmart earlier this week, a tractor trailer full of our product was stolen while en route to the McFarlane Toys warehouse. Among the numerous McFarlane toys and cargo was the Supergirl page punchers, and it's being investigated, blah, 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 blah. But they haven't gotten any news back, and they're refunding everybody. At least that's the Walmart email that I read.
Well, do you? So I guess my question, Chris, is, with all these other companies that you work with on this kind of thing, is that stuff insured? Like if
it depends on where it happens.
Okay.
So the way it works is if it's on the boat, on the ocean, well, us personally, we pay for insurance when it is through the freight forwarder. And so that basically covers it from when it gets on the boat in China to, honestly, from when it gets to our warehouse. And it's pennies on the dollar. It's nothing. If you don't insure your stuff, you're a moron. Plain and simple. Because we've had, instances where toys got wet, like the case packs got soaked, and we had like, oh gosh, it must have been like 20 or 30 cases that got completely
I heard a lot of folks calling it Fast and McFurious.
Family.
Yeah.
But so if something happens when it's on the boat, then or to on the boat all the way to when you receive it, then yeah, you'll call them up. Like I had to call a guy up. Guy came out there. We couldn't like touch anything. We had to leave it. So I just took pictures and kind of, took a inventory of what the problems were. And then the guy came out. We would look at things, take pictures. And then, it wasn't our fault. It was honestly, it was customs, because customs sucks. The people at customs are the worst when they pull your stuff to get inspected. If anybody here works for customs at the port, shame on you. And then they cut us a check based on the value, and that's it, And then you trash the stuff. Now, getting stolen is a whole other thing. I mean, I'm sure the trucking company has some sort of insurance to cover that. Like what it is, I don't know. Or it's part of the freight forwarding insurance. Like, there's a lot of variables for that. So it's hard to say. Well,
and I guess the other kind of, twist on this, the thing that
Tony twist.
Affects, is that, if it was, let's say that you lost a whole run of a figure, right? But you still had the tools, the tooling and all that kind of stuff. You could always go back and reproduce the figure, right? Like you could do it again. Well, the problem is they're losing the license at the end of the year. And, I don't know much about the toy industry, but that's what you're here for. My understanding is you got to wait in line for certain things to get done, right? So if
all depends on
you're trying to go back to it and you've already got the rest of the year planned out until the license is done, you may not have another chance to run this off.
Yeah. I mean, with the license, there's a lot of things like, it depends on the license, but it could be, has to be produced by a certain date, or it has to be shipped by a certain date, or it has to be sold by a certain date. I mean, it's all depends on the license. And then, depending on the factory, like I'm sure he's dealing with multiple factories. And then there's also the money factor, because factory's not going to, pay for it, obviously. So if you need to wait to get paid to rerun them, then that's going to take time. If you have the money and if you have the available space, then sure, rerun it as fast as you can. It probably has some significant numbers, quantity wise. So, I don't know how long that'll take. It might take a couple of months, even if he just starts right now,
That's crazy. I can't imagine that the thieves were targeting that. Right, like they had to think it was going to be something else.
No, they were Walmarting that. They were Walmarting that.
Gotcha. They were Walmarting. I can't imagine that's what they thought was in that truck. Right?
They probably thought it was Pokemon cards, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, something that you could move a little bit easier. I mean, if you hijack the entire run of a single figure, like you can't really move it, right? Because anyone that's out there, they're going to know came from that shipment. It's the only ones out there.
Listen, Supergirl is the modern day black market currency. They're just dealing out. I'll give you 10 Supergirls for that. It's all black market trading now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I mean, that figure is the woman of tomorrow.
That is true. Jordan said he actually ordered 5,000 Supergirls using DoorDash. The driver never delivered them. So. Yeah, I thought that story was crazy. I mean, I've been collecting toys for a long time, and I've never heard of a run of a figure just being stolen.
Do you have are you able to pull up a quick picture of what she looked like?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm curious because I don't collect McFarlane. I collect real toys.
You got it, Curtis?
And
yeah. You want to? Wow. You want to see if there's any other
Mike Casper.
Any other comments out there?
I don't give a fuck. His name was Mike.
Fucking Mike.
I prefer it when it's on a loop and it won't stop.
Yeah. And then Jesse freaks out. He's like, I didn't mean it to loop.
I think what happened was I turned the loop off, but then I hit the item again, thinking I was stopping it.
Yeah. You probably double clicked it,
Yeah. Yeah. What's up?
You know what,
Mike?
You know what? I think Supergirl. I really shouldn't say this because it'll be too political. I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
I think I'm pretty sure this is the one here.
Okay. Is that the one that comes with the comic book?
It's a page puncher one. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
So no, it's pretty decent. I mean, people were excited about it.
I mean,
So-
I don't know why they're using articulation from the 90s with these pins, but I mean, other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, for a, 20 something dollar retail figure, it is what it is.
Isn't that where like the pickup line is like, "Hey girl, nice pins"? Isn't that where that came from?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Chris does. That's all. At least he laughed. That made. Thank you.
I laugh at everything, so I laugh at myself all
Pudding.
the time. Yay, Rick!
So-
I can self-edit. There are times when I can self-edit. It's strenuous, but I can do it. I know when I can't say certain things or I shouldn't say certain things.
So D13 Toys. So now we've
D13.
got a few in hand. We've talked about the presentation. What do we have? Do you have an estimate, or do you have a guess on when you think these things will be shipped out for the Kickstarter folks? Especially Van. I was made to ask.
2026. Van is 2026.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for everybody else?
Oh, tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Don't get excited. Don't get cocky, kid. So Diego and I are finishing up the shipping, getting the charges figured out and loaded up. It's a freaking process because there's something like 30 different SKUs. Why? Who's the moron who does that? I'll give you a clue. It's this guy. So it's a matter of like we had to figure out the size, the weights, all the dimensions, and then and then I had to figure out which boxes we're gonna be using, and then he's gonna load all that up into the shipping program to get the shipping costs or something like that, and then it gets loaded into backer kit. It's just freaking process, and it's annoying, but it's still better than Kickstarter because Kickstarter sucks. Hashtag Kickstarter sucks. And then we'll start charging people for the shipping, and then the first things that'll be going out will be only one SKU matters: the Biblical All-In with Golden Angel. Not a lot of people ordered it, I can tell you that much. That Golden Angel is going to be bucks, baby. Right when I have a St. George to fight him.
the D in D13 is for dragon, right? Because you're planning on having 13 dragons.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Oh God, the stream of thought right now is going in a million miles. Remind me to tell you about what Jordan and Van told me that I said 5 years ago. I was going to say it for my show, but I'll give you the scoop. Scoop explosion! So the book 1, 2, 3, 4 and the Biblical All-In will be the first ones to go out because it's literally slapping a label on there. But again, have to wait for all the shipping to be, because even if somebody ordered a Biblical All-In and one figure, or a Biblical In and 20 figures, like it's all the same. It's like, I still have to figure out the shipping for the All-In and then the shipping for the additional, because it's not going to get shipped together. The All-In is 2 boxes as it is already. So I'm not going to go fiddling around and, moving things around. You're going to ship those 2 boxes out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be in the next couple of weeks. It's just a matter of getting everything. Hopefully, I would love it if I could start charging this week. So I got to talk to Diego and see where we're at. It's a huge headache.
So very
folks.
Appropriate estimation.
Soon.
When will then be now? Soon.
So if you figure out how to fiddle in it, are you going to send that one down to Georgia?
That's a good question.
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
All right. So what about what's next? Like there was, You had several different books within the first Kickstarter. I know that one of the things that you had talked about was, trying to create something that, could potentially find its way into a gift shop or something, or different places. What have you had any luck on that front? And then what else might we see from D13?
First off, if I've had any luck on that front, it's like you think I have time to do this. I'm too busy helping everybody else with their projects, for crying out loud. Now that I actually have physical product, that's the big thing, because like I've talked to different people, for like I've emailed the Vatican, for crying out loud, the gift shop of the Vatican, trying to see about getting stuff in there, and they were like, nope. But now that I have physical product, like I can send it out and say, hey, check this out. Would you be interested? That's the harder part. My toy nerds, my toy babies, I love all of them, and they're very supportive because they already know me. And there's a lot of religious toy nerds out there, and that's great too, because it's something for them. You know what I mean? But getting into the religious side of it, in terms of for sales, for hitting the right kind of stores and gift shops and whatever, that's harder. So I mean, I'll be working on that, sending out some samples here and there. I'll see what happens. If nothing happens, so whatever, is what it is. I'm just going to keep pushing forward, because
hold on one second, Chris. I'm getting a the Vatican. This is
they watch.
You got representatives now. They want to talk to Chris. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll bring you guys on. Okay. Apparently, we've got some representatives from the Vatican that want to come on and talk to you. So,
okay.
They're all for you shipping them some product. So,
where are my damn toys, Chris? Where are my damn toys?
Man, I promise they're going out tomorrow. I promise you, they're going out tomorrow-ish. Next week for sure. If not, next year. I guarantee you, by next year they're going out.
This decade.
My fingers were crossed for you, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't want to make any guarantees about this decade, but we'll try.
Guys, Jordan's trying to read. So
yeah. Is it a riveting story, Jordan?
He's got his desensitized earmuffs on, so that he can focus on the reading. So
it's just his hair, isn't it? He's got the whole neck merkin thing going on too.
Yeah, he's going with the Princess Leia is what that is. It's like the earmuffs from Spaceballs.
Headphones.
Princess Vespa. No, Chris has got him too. Look at that.
He shot my hair.
Am I in time to hear the song?
Which song? Is there a song?
Yeah, Laredo.
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh, I can't. That's on a different channel. I don't think I can do that here.
Travel down the road and back again.
But Van, we do appreciate you jumping in all the way from the Vatican. Chris was just talking about how he would like to send out some samples for you to review. Are you willing to accept some samples?
I will accept some samples on behalf of the Pope. Sure.
Yeah,
okay.
I just ran out.
Yeah. Oh, damn it!
There you go. You were almost in the Vatican. Almost. You see the?
You know what?
That close.
So close. The purple.
Listen, Hobby Lobby called 5 minutes ago. Sorry. and Chick-fil-A. And Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
You know what? They work bankers hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was actually all just this whole thing. Having Chris on tonight was all a scam so that we could make Dorklayer watch PGG. That's all this was.
We got you.
It was just a trick. We got you. We got you, Bill.
Dorklayer.
Release the D13 AI Jesus.
Hey, you know what? I can do like Van now. He grabs his beard and pulls it together. I'm just going to do the same like Van. I'm going to do this.
You should.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now that
is anyone else hear Creed playing?
Yeah.
With arms wide open.
So now that PGG's here, you said something about 5 years ago. that you wanted to talk about?
Was that when I
Did I?
placed my order?
Got 'em.
Touche.
Boom enabled.
Yeah, you told
So-
us to remind you something about 5 years ago.
All right. So who told me about this? I think it was Jordan. Was it Jordan or Van?
I'm the one that reads.
Oh yeah. I can't read.
Point taken.
Fair.
Totally
Wasn't
fair.
a thought. Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I can't argue that.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna pull it up. So, a few years back,
It was the year 2021. Gather around, children.
this,
Grandpa Chris telling a story. Gather around.
it was the year 2021, and I was doing an interview with Full Horseman Studios, and that was, if you just Google whatever behind the scenes interview with Chris Gawrych, even though it's Gawrych,
Gawrych.
all the way at the end, because it is a long interview. It's nice and toasty out.
Nice picture, too.
So go all the way to the
I
bottom.
figured I'd play the campfire sound effect in the background since it's story time.
All right,
Right.
go ahead. All the way, keep going. Go a little further. Keep going. Yes. Continue.
Wow,
Continue.
It is a long
Lots-
interview.
It's full of fluff, basically. It's just bullshit. Okay, too
I saw
far.
half none. I saw half
Go back
none.
up. Right there. Okay, final question. I think that's where it was. Let me see.
Mhm.
So, as you can see, it says in the middle. I'll do my own voice because I'm voicing myself. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Being in the no, wait, that's not right. Being in the office every day and looking at this dragon, it's just staggering. The fun factor alone and the size. Oh, my stars and garters. And the best part is oh, wait, what's that? I'm not supposed to mention the giant deluxe dragon yet. It hasn't been announced. Oh, okay. Well, we can just delete this last bit and forget I ever mentioned anything. We can't? Seriously? Oh, man, I'm in trouble now. I predicted this dragon 5 years ago. Can you believe that?
There you go.
This
Now-
dragon
I'm more
was not a
curious about
twinkle.
the sausage down in the bottom.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
The sausage.
Also, it does say giant deluxe dragon. So does that mean there's another one coming with more stuff?
Hold on.
It's
Hold on.
deluxe.
Hold on. The Vatican's calling. Sorry. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You want
All
me
right.
now? Okay. I'm on the show, but I got. All right. I gotta go. Sorry, Vatican.
Fucker hung up on me.
Yeah.
Which sausage
Hey,
are we
look at
talking
that.
here?
Oh wow.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's me and BC, baby.
Very nice.
That's true, Joe. We do call everything deluxe.
Was that your
Four
inspiration for D13 blue meth translucent Jesus?
Yep. That is 100%. 100% minus 99%.
All right.
Were you Breaking
Still-
Bad?
There's still some percent there. So
I was bad breaking. It was a whole different time. I was young. I needed the money.
Popping and locking. It's understandable.
we've all
Sometimes
seen that
locking and
play
popping.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. I mean, we've got a
Cardinal
cardinal.
Echevarria.
In the chat.
I just
Brilliant.
caught that.
Wow.
Profit
That's right.
first figure when. Yeah,
There you
that's an
go.
interesting thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, when Jordan brought that up and told me about it, I lost it. I was cracking up. I'm like, holy shnikes, I can't believe that. I don't even remember it. Like, it was so long ago. I don't remember what I did last week, so forget about 5 years ago.
So there is a question.
Last
here
week you were on
for-
the show with a bunch of other people.
That's true. That's true.
Was that last week?
That was last week. We do have a comment here from Dave Orkin. He says Van isn't wrong. I mean, we do have 18 different colored demons, but not the Kickstarter wave we pre-ordered.
Well, I mean,
Preach,
the
Brother
Kickstarter
Orkin,
is the
preach.
Kickstarter. The demons are not the Kickstarter, so it's not like
demons are cool, right? I
like
mean,
you're
everybody
getting-
likes the demons.
it's not like you're getting them earlier than a Kickstarter. It's its own thing.
Hmm.
I got
Different.
my demons. I got the two like spectral black and gray whatever ones at Zolicon, and I put my Gaspar Dislikes Amusement shirt on one of them.
Oh, nice.
Appropriate. As black as his soul.
Now, as you've gone through the different iterations of the demon, you've gone through the different colors and stuff. Have there been changes that have been made throughout on the demon sculpt itself, or articulation, or anything that you've done, besides color, obviously?
I mean, for the most part, earlier on, the first couple, I've had some tweaks on the articulation just to kind of improve them. Like when I got the first ones, which was the PowerCon, the red and the green ones, I had never had a test shot in my hands until I received the literal product at PowerCon. So I had to rush it. And that was the whole thing, was I had to prioritize the body and some of the heads and accessories so that I can have something for PowerCon, because PowerCon was, it's a big show, and I needed to have something because I didn't have anything yet, and to get something in people's hands was very important. So I fast tracked some of the stuff, and literally the day before the show, I think, is when they arrived, and I got them, and they were good, but there was definitely some adjustments that needed to be made. And then, the next ones, was the next one's Legion's Con? I think the next ones were Legion's Con. I had some improvements from that. And then a little bit more, it's all like such tiny tweaks, just to kind of make things a little bit better, tighter, more range of movement, whatever. But other than that, I mean, they're pretty good. I haven't really done much else. I already, I've been planning out what I'm going to have for this year show wise. One or two things is going to be
maybe
tight.
the figures we paid for.
No. That's not exclusives. Those old news. They come whenever they come. I gotta look forward. I gotta look forward, man. I gotta look forward for the exclusives, the new stuff, the new. So I'm trying to have something for what is it, JoeCon? JoeCon, whichever one.
JoeLana or Joe Fest?
JoeLana or Jeff Fest?
Maybe it's Joe Fest. When is Joe Fest? Is that in June?
Jordan,
There's
September.
one, yeah.
Joe Fest is June. JoeLana is September.
Are you going to be at both those?
No, it's probably Joe Fest, and it's not even guaranteed if I'll be there or not. But my friend Carl Cunningham, he's he's big collector for Horseman and for D13, and he's on a little bit on the socials. But he will have a table there, and if I can't make it there, he may be selling my exclusives kind of street teamish. You know what I mean? But I got to see if I can get them done in time. That's the other thing.
That's a big for me as well, Curtis.
Send them to me, Chris. I'll sell them out of my backpack.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll be happy to do that.
And then I'll have exclusives being planned right now, in the works, actually, for Legion's Con, for Chinese New Year, for winter.
What about for Smarch? Will there be a Smarch exclusive?
I'm shooting for Smarch 2026, but I can't say what it is. I think there's one or two other ones too. Decon. I'll have maybe two for Decon. Now Decon will have some new sculpted parts.
Does it taste like chocolate?
Okay.
But can't say what it is yet.
Gotcha.
I could say what it is, but nobody asked me.
You're not going to.
Well, nobody asked me, so I'm not going to say anything.
Well, hey, Chris, what are the new parts?
Can you tell us what the new parts?
Yeah.
I got to hear Van ask.
No, I'm good. I just want the parts that I paid for. Like I'm not even interested in the future. I want the past and the present. That's where I'm at.
You want the Old Testament?
Yeah, I've already jumped off this train. I just want what I paid for, and then I'm fucking done. I'm freaking done. Excuse my language. No, I have every demon you've ever put out. You keep putting them out. I'll keep buying them. I absolutely love them. They're fun. They move well. You're doing good things, man. I can't wait to, for the day when my grandchildren have the figures I paid for. Yeah, I'm really excited, man. It's just absolutely beautiful. Seeing them at ZoloCon as you sold them to people who did not back your Kickstarter. It was wonderful to see how excited and happy they were to get these figures in hand. And
Those
watching
people are my
Jordan play
priority. They're my priority.
Just want you to know, Van, I backed the Kickstarter and I bought one at ZoloCon, so I did both parts.
No, dude, yeah, no, that makes me feel good that one of us got in on it. So yeah, I'm glad, Jesse. That's yeah, you just pretty much brought my faith back in Biblical Adventures that the Kickstarter backers will inevitably get a figure in hand.
You were at ZoloCon. Why didn't you get any?
Oh, that's a great question. I almost feel like I asked Chris several times to sell me one, and he said, yeah, no problem. And then next thing I know, Spirit Halloween has opened up where his booth was, and yeah.
It wasn't until the middle of the day on Sunday, right?
I was asking him as he was still setting up on the first day.
I mean, to be fair, I can't work on Sundays, so it makes sense.
This figure looks awesome, by the way.
Let's my figures go.
I got sent a few pictures from Matt Rodriguez. So he wanted me to ask you. He said, he says, I love Chris. Ask him about his factory and the pointless neck gem. So, yeah, he wants us to ask you about the pointless neck gem.
I mean, I think it looks good. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what that neck gem do?
It looks like a choker to me.
It's pointed. I don't think it's pointless. I think it's pointed.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Tell Matt he just doesn't know what's cool.
Gotcha. Now, he did send a couple other photos. He sent this one. So there's that. He wasn't able to join us, but he did send me that photo.
There we go. Perfect.
And then he sent one more. This is specifically for Chris. So there you go.
That's what I was expecting. I mean, that's pretty much what I have on my phone. I mean,
gotcha. Yeah.
That's when he calls, that pops up. Something else pops up when he calls too.
Hooga.
Very nice.
Is it a little pink flesh monster?
Listen, I'm not
this guy.
I'm not growing out this mustache for nothing. That's all I'm saying.
Touche.
Understand.
Touche.
Jesse, it means who wants a mustache ride?
I do. Pick me.
You know what's painful about seeing these old pictures is that all of these toys are just shitty prototypes. It's not actual production. I hate it. I hate it.
Is this the Jesus that got stolen at ZoloCon?
No, that one survived. That one survived.
You know what's painful for me about seeing those pictures is when I go into my Kickstarter account and then I take a look at when I sent you money, and then I look at this guy here beside me playing with a figure that I should have but don't. That's what upsets me.
Is that Charlton Heston?
Figures go.
Jordan, that figure looks good on you.
Render unto Caesar.
Now, you said something about those being just the prototypes. Do you know, is there like any YouTube channels or anything where people could go to watch like a video of like the finished product?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Maybe like the Black Jesus.
Four Horsemen Studios. You can go there and see it all.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's just Four Horsemen's just my side hustle, but I put all my stuff on there.
Okay. Gotcha. I didn't know if maybe there was like another group of people that like a certain color maybe have gotten like some videos out.
No.
With some like cool content of like, maybe like one of the Jesuses like really kicking butt.
I think Dork Lair had put something up.
Oh, that might be it. That might be what I was thinking.
Yeah. I don't know. No color in there though.
Gotcha. Yeah, because Jesus is an action figure, so you want to see him in action, right?
This is true.
So cool.
True. It's like reminds me when you talk about that, it reminds me of the old Brain Dead movie by Peter Jackson. You remember that movie?
I never saw it.
Yeah,
You should be
Fellowship of the
ashamed
Ring.
of yourself.
Yeah.
There's a part where the priest or whatever it was, he says,
Hey.
"I kick ass for the Lord." And when you say about action, Jesus, that's what comes into my head.
Yeah, biblical justice.
Chris,
So-
did you ever see I think it was Ashley Wood, the figures he did, the zombie fighting Jesus?
No.
Holy shit. It's like he's like kickboxer Jesus. He has like Son of Christ tattooed on his. I'll send you some pictures later, dude. I bought them all. They're great. They are absolutely great.
AC Slater Moses.
Hey, Curtis,
Yeah,
I want you to Google something for me.
sure.
I'll spell it out for you. You ready?
Okay.
It's one word.
Penn
N-
Island.
NINJESUS.
Yes.
Jesus. And look at the images. Go
I
to
was
image.
really afraid of where this was going to go.
Yeah. Okay.
This is one of my favorite shirts ever.
Oh,
Click the link.
interesting. Yeah.
Got the cookies.
Here, let me pull up this picture. Well, this is actually a T-shirt. So apparently you can get a T-shirt here.
I had this T-shirt years ago. I love it.
Yeah.
I got too fat. I can't wear it anymore.
So yeah, there you go.
Now, oh yeah, they do say it at the top. It says, "Holy fuck, it's Jesus."
Yeah, it really is.
Now that was an old martial arts movie cover, and they basically put Jesus's head on there. Otherwise, it's the exact same image.
Well, there you go. So when we get in this one,
I'm working with the Foosh. We're getting in Jesus. Don't worry about it.
As we
sounds
should.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Van knows Shartimus if you want to work through him. So probably can get you in. So,
I could
got some connections.
I could try. I'd be happy to help.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you out or through any trouble, so please don't.
No, it's fine. I'm happy to help in any way I can.
No. It's the request is please don't.
I think they're very close. In fact, I've heard people say that they look alike, like they could switch clothes and try to fool people, kind of thing. That's what I've heard.
That
But I
tracks,
don't-
I can see it.
Yeah, I
I
don't
can
know.
see it. I think Van would have to stand upside down though to get the mohawk effect.
Mm.
No, I mean I've got the similar hairstyle. I haven't dyed it green or anything. So I mean it would work. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Very cool. Do you also like singing and playing music with Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Oh,
Who doesn't?
very nice. Yeah, for sure.
Also enjoyed Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was good in what is that, Interview with the Vampire, when he did the whole opera scene thing.
That was good.
Yeah,
too.
Mr. Allen was great in that.
Yeah, I
So
love this element.
yeah, for sure.
What the hell is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently we need to move along.
Oh, they're towing my car.
Oh, did Jesse hit you with the?
Yeah, William. Yes, Jesus does wear sandals.
Saddles.
I don't
No,
think he wears saddles, but I think he wears sandals, but not to toy conventions. So, yeah.
I like,
So
I
there
like
you go.
saddles better.
He might wear a saddle. I don't know. I don't. You know, I'm not here to kink shame. So, yeah. But was there anything that you didn't get to in the original Kickstarter that you're like, man, next one, I really need to try to fit this one in?
You know what? When I was developing the first line, I'm trying to think of how I did it. I think I just like kind of was throwing out a bunch of different names and just had this like big list, you know, and then it's not really a problem, and maybe it's a problem. I don't know. When you're going through it, the thing you have to keep in mind is what's going to sell, because there's definitely like, Noah. All right, Noah's obviously a well-known figure, but he's boring. Like, is he going to sell? Like, I mean, as a toy, he's boring.
Wow,
he's
you just hurt Jesse's feelings.
I'm just saying, as a toy,
Yeah.
He's boring. What is he gonna? Oh, Jess, come back. Jess, come back.
We with the other night we were talking about if you could go back in history and just sit down and talk with one person, who would it be? And Jesse picked Noah, mostly because he wants to know how to get two of each animal into his place.
Samesies.
Yeah. So,
Without them eating each other.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Because
So,
going back in time and talking to Moses is one thing. Making a toy of Noah is a different thing. It's a boring toy.
Here's a hot take, though. How do we know that they weren't fighting each other? How do we know that Noah was not like trying to capitalize on the world flooding and wanted to have like an animal fighting arena going on? I mean, how you don't know? They were betting, they were gambling. I mean, you had fucking giraffes eating like raccoons and yeah. I mean, I'd like to know. I'd like to know.
We've already established that Van hasn't read the Bible, right?
Well, I mean, he hasn't read anything. It's my understanding, but
yeah. No, that was back when I used to read quite a bit. Like, yeah, we could. I could discuss some Old Testament with you if we want to take it down that path. But yeah,
here's another hot take. Who's to say he didn't get more than two so that he can feed the ones that are carnivores?
Exactly. And yeah, no, I'm not going that direction. But yeah, no. Well, that's as dark as we'll take it from at least my microphone. But yeah.
Try Jordan's microphone instead.
Who's to say that? No. No,
it would be a real easy
not my show and yeah.
Go ahead, Jesse.
A real easy little figure you could squeeze in is Zacchaeus.
He was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he.
You know, Zacchaeus. Yeah,
he climbed into that tree because he wanted to see Jesus.
Right? Climbed the tree. Am I on a delay? Am I a delay, or am I just that dumb?
You're not on a delay. I'm actually blowing everybody's mind because I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you're also on a delay.
Yeah.
Cain and Abel 2-pack.
Adam
boring.
and Eve.
Yes,
boring.
Adam and Eve. Cain and Abel's boring. What is it going to be? Two guys? What are they doing?
What about
Saul? I can give them hard-ons. There we go.
What about Saul? Can we get Saul?
Saul? No, you can get a pillar of salt, though.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Let's do Lot and his family.
Yes. No,
There
just
we
a
go.
pillar of salt. That's it. That'll be the pillar of salt will be the bonus for the all-in.
I'm so like devastated Jesse was not here for me to start naming to hear me naming biblical characters.
There you go.
I named Lot and his family, Jesse, while you were gone.
Yeah, he did. It's true.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you accidentally say a lot and someone thought you were saying that, or did you like?
Yeah, no, there's a 50-50 on that one. Can we also get Sarah?
Pillar of salt would be cool, especially if it's like a Build-A-Figure, like the.
Jesse's on his leg again.
Rahab was going to be like my number 2 pick.
Well,
Jesse, pay your internet bill.
while Jesse figures out his leg, we have got this that it was thrown together to show how much action you can get in these action figures.
I hope he don't steal my Jesus. That old man stole my Jesus.
Yo, it's Black Jesus. D13, stand up. Armor on, spirit lit. Let's go. Stepping out the shadows, crown on tight. Sword of the word, and he came to fight. Bronze feet hit the street, thunder when he walks. Fire in his eyes, truth when he talks. James on the people, he breaking them fast. First to the future, last to the past. Miracles moving, power in hand. Black Jesus rolling, taking this land. Black Jesus, warrior of light. Kicking down doors, bringing new life. Black Jesus, rise and ignite. D13 soldier, ready for the fight. Shape in the wind, city on blast. Demons run quick, no they won't last. Piercing the dark with a neon glow. Holy fire burn, let spirit flow. Stone roll back, he broke that grave. From the block to the throne, every soul he'll save. Lion of Judah, king with the crown. Black Jesus up, never backing down. Jump into battle, action figure mode. Hands in the sky when the trumpet blows. Armor of God, yeah, we ready to ride. Black Jesus leading, power and pride. Black Jesus, warrior of light. Kicking down doors, bringing new life. Black Jesus, rise and ignite. D13 soldier, ready for the fight. Yo, streets full of pain, he walked right through. Healing with a touch, making all things new. Enemies tremble, kingdom gon' win. Blood on the cross, make for our sin. No fear, no shame. Armor locked tight, praying on the rooftop, moving through night. Black Messiah, action figure bold. Story of the king that's never been told. Go, Black Jesus roll. Rise, take control. Black Jesus, warrior of light. Kicking down doors, taking control. Fight, never back down. Crown, king with the crown. Black Jesus, warrior of light. Kicking down doors, bringing new life. Black Jesus marching on, city lights glow when the king is gone. D13, this battle's won. Black Jesus forever strong.
There you go.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
That's an action figure right there.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Figures do not move or fly on their own. Just want to put it out there.
Gotcha. Do you
They also don't ship.
Do they come with those flaming swinging weapons like that? They don't ship.
Son of a bitch. That was good. I'll give it to you. I won't give you the toys, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Like that's
I mean, I saw Jesus take out a barbarian there. So, you know, as much as people are talking about the legendary barbarian right now, just saying, you get this Jesus in hand.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, they look great, man.
That's a tight video. I love the video. But yeah, I mean, you know, coming up in the next one, I mean, I want to have I've shown the female and the fine cuts. Like those are already developed. It's just a matter of tooling them. And then now I got to do a bunch of different, heads and accessories and different things like that. There'll be an Adam and Eve. That'll be pretty easy. They're just going to have, leaf bra and leaf underwear, and I can use some of the accessories that I already have, like the apple and the snake, throw in there. And for the Goliath body, I'll probably do, so it won't be a 2-pack, but the Goliath body itself will be Goliath, maybe some Nephilim, but there's not a whole lot of detail out there. But I want to do, the Sistine Chapel God with Adam and God, so that the Goliath figure will be bigger, and then he'll come with one hand, and Adam in the Adam and Eve 2-pack will come with the other hand, and they can go Wonder Twin Powers. And form of the Holy Ghost.
There you go.
And then I'll probably have some cherubs, and she's a wonderful woman.
That's a keeper right there, Thomas.
Hell yes. So I'll have like some cherubs and
like churros.
Cherub churros. They'll be salty. I mean, cinnamony and sugary. What else? Like, I want to have a Joan of Arc. I'm probably gonna use the Roman soldiers and do them in like a stone deco, so you can, use them in your dioramas. Maybe a female.
Oh, that's Varia with the.
Oh,
wow. Damn.
My dude, my dude. Yeah. We got the fish here.
Cardinal coming in firing.
That Cardinal's coming in with hellfire, if you ask me.
So I know the demons have been very popular, mostly because it's the only thing you've had in people's hands.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
But any thoughts to different designs for the demons or different types of demons?
As in like sculpts?
Yeah, like different sculpts, whether it's a new head sculpt or different wings or anything like that.
Well, some may say this is blasphemous. I say this is reality, but there will probably maybe be some female demons at some point.
Nice.
So any of us that have had any interaction with females ever in their lives know there's plenty to draw from.
Yeah, no, I'm curious. Like,
Thomas
how
asking for a
long-
Joan of Arc, maybe.
Yeah,
When
Joan
did-
of Arc, and I want to have like with the armor, maybe do like I might even do a female Roman soldier because I'll reuse some of that armor. I thought that'd be a
Sorry,
fun
Van.
little twist.
Good.
I'm not sorry, Van.
I am sorry, Van.
No, I
You're
was
not
just
getting-
curious
you're not getting
how
stuff
you were able
noticed.
to talk my mother-in-law into releasing the rights to her image for your female demon figures.
I mean, it was a process, and I had to promise her to deliver your product to her.
Oh, that absolutely sounds like a move she would make. So yeah,
Power move, if you ask me.
Mhm.
And she already received it.
Jordan would like Cardinal Echevarria to take these broken wings and learn to fly again. So, yeah, there you go.
Makes sense.
It's doable. It's doable.
Yeah. Dirk says maybe some more army builder type figures.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Definitely.
Cool. Awesome. So what else? I know, you've got your fingers in a lot of pies. Matt's stuff just delivered. I know he's got a 1.5 wave that's supposed to be, he said, kicking off sometime this summer.
Yeah.
Guessing
Yeah. All based on what the tariff situation is.
Right. Anything else that maybe is on its way that you've been a part of that people should be on the lookout for?
Anything from Big Bad, Fresh Monkey Fiction, Monster Force, and all that good stuff.
Now, one of the ones that they're working on that I'm super excited for is Cops and Crooks.
Cops and Crooks. Yep.
Have you been involved in that one as well?
Yeah, if it's Fresh Monkey and Big Bad, it's me.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That one I might have to be all in on that. So
yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm self-editing, so that's all I'm going to say.
No, I get it. Yeah, things are uncertain right now, for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What about
it's like Jim Morrison says?
Okay.
The future's uncertain, and the end is always clear. Is that what he says? Whatever he says, you know what I'm saying.
Please, for the love of God, tell me that Bill English has his figures, because that guy is one of the biggest supporters of Biblical Adventures.
Bill English is top tier, next level supporter, and he does not have his Kickstarter figures yet. There's only one person. There's only one person who received their order so far.
Was it Shelve?
Oh,
nope.
Okay.
I believe it's Cookie. I'm sorry.
It is.
I'm sorry.
It is Cookie.
I believe it's Cookie.
I'm good with Cookie having them. If anyone would have them, Cookie having them, that's.
And with Cookie, it's another satisfied customer. Oh wait, the only satisfied customer.
So Bill wants to know.
Satisfied.
Yeah.
Well, Kickstarter customer. Well,
I'm a Kickstarter customer.
Kickstarter order delivered to customer.
Any thoughts for play sets, vehicles? Maybe an arc. I don't know.
I was going to have a golden chariot flying through the sky. Yeah. No, I want to do. That's true, Joe and Bill, and Diego. I want to do like a simple nativity, kind of more like a cardboard build, type play set. That would. I haven't figured it out yet. Either I'd probably have a Joseph, Mary, and a baby Jesus kind of as a set. And I was thinking of putting that with the nativity scene, but then I was like, no, you know what? I think instead, maybe what I might do is the three wise men with the nativity scene. Because I think the yes, Curtis.
I'm sorry, I got to pull this up from Echevarria. It says wings are the only thing I've received so far.
Clarification. That was not part of the Kickstarter. Those are in the column of Demons exclusives.
We do have Matt Rodriguez here. Says love you guys. And
he must
and
not have heard everything else
go.
we said before then.
No, he didn't hear that. So
Okay,
no.
good.
But yeah, also that neck gem, it's good, Matt. We already talked about it. It's good.
Settled,
it's perfectly
satisfied.
fine. Yeah.
Sodom and Gomorrah
figures $550 arc would be cool. Yeah. Loaded up with some little animals for Jesse.
I mean, it'd be 2 of everything. That'd be a lot of animals.
What if they did fight and the animals that we have now are the only animals that didn't die?
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it.
I think that's the time you partner up with like Schleich or one of those companies that already have all the animals.
Partner up or buy it on the open market and not pay anyone.
Gotcha.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But they don't know.
Less Warlock says, "I want a D13 Jesus with one of those tuxedo T-shirts."
Or you could just steal the tractor trailer on its way to the Walmart shipping center.
There you go. Yep. Trade
Supergirls
for Jesuses.
Don't give Dan any ideas.
Well, no, it's funny. Holesome Warlock had an interesting theory that really they realized there was no margins. They didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they just didn't pick up the figs, and that's really what happened.
Listen,
because
I would think that, because it sounds like it's under investigation. Had they found out that was a made up story, they'd probably be in a lot more trouble. So,
let me also clarify one thing.
I've only seen it on social media. Is there any news articles supporting this?
It's just, as far as I know, it's just they sent out direct emails. McFarlane sent out an email and Walmart sent out an email. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So with the tariffs,
the
way it works, and it is so ghetto. The tariffs is once your container is loaded onto the ship, whatever the tariffs are that day, essentially when the ship is loaded, is what you're paying,
regardless either when it's changed by the time it gets there.
Yeah, it's either when it's loaded or when it leaves the port, which I'm pretty sure that's pretty close to around the same time. So if it was when it was 20%, it takes 6 weeks to get here, and if it's 150% when it gets here, you're still paying 20%.
Gotcha.
Now the flip side of that is if it's 50% and it was 50% for 1 week, and that was the week your shit went out, and by the time it gets here there's no tariffs, you're still paying 50%.
Gotcha.
That's what we call the rub.
Now, as somebody who's just an idiot and doesn't read and know things, the percentage is that off of the retail price? Is that off the manufacturing cost? Is that off the shipping? What is that all based off of?
When you ship, when you ship it out, the freight forwarder would have like bill of lading and invoice and everything, and that's like kind of cost, and then it would be based off of whatever the production costs are as put forth by the factory and the shipping company.
Okay.
So it could be a lot of money. If you have a whole container, it's a lot of cost, and that's a lot of tariff money that could have been spent on anything other than that.
So when it jumped up to 100 and some odd %, people were basically going, hey, don't load my stuff.
No, when it was at 50%, people were going, hey, let's just wait a moment, take a beat here.
Yeah, and then it went higher.
Yeah, and anything over anything over 50% is ridiculous, and nobody's really going to pay it. And it doesn't matter if it's 50, 100, 150, 200, 1,000. Like, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to pay it. It's stupid. It's pointless. It's just a pissing contest at that point.
So how
So
do
if you don't pay it, what happens then?
Yeah, good question, Jesse.
Imagine you don't get your shit.
I think what happens then is you have somebody steal your container.
But like, does the government then come after you for, you owe these? It's kind of like back taxes kind of a thing, or do they just impound it and write it off?
Yeah, that's a good question. I defer to Greg, formerly of Brute Scale.
So who do you pay? like, who do you pay the tariff to? Like, is it
me?
Is there just a guy on the docks that you just hand an envelope of cash, or
that's how it works, baby?
Okay,
you're a little short today.
Yeah, you get a note in the mail from the government. Like, how does that work?
So when a container comes
10
in,
of those Stupa girls, and we'll call it good.
But you said 8 the other day. When a container's coming in, I've altered the deal. When a container's coming in, you usually pay it a week or two before. Like the freight forwarder will send you the invoice. You pay the invoice. That basically allows the container to be cleared and then start to get unloaded once it hits port.
Mhm.
That money then goes to the government, which, of course, as we all know, helps out small business with that money, right?
So you're basically paying the shipping company, and then the shipping company has to take that tariff portion and send it to the government.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean,
Gotcha.
We just pay everything because you get your invoice, and the invoice will be for shipping, and then all additional fees and taxes.
Sounds like Big Calendar at his finest.
And a tariff is a tax. So all those taxes, and if you don't pay it, honestly, I don't know what happens. But the way you know what you're in for when the container was loaded, so you know what it's going to be. So I mean, it'd be so rare that when it arrives, you can't pay for it, or you don't want to pay for it. Like it'd be, you know what it's going to be. Now, what happens? I don't know, because if it comes in, and let's say you don't have the money, but you're going to get the money, then it'll basically be stored at the docks. And guess what? Because it's the government, you're going to pay money for storage. So
Gotcha.
then it goes goes up more.
Now, I was talking with somebody last night that is, doing something with a company that is based out of Canada, but they're trying to get the stuff to the U.S. And they looked at, having it brought to Canada and then go into the U.S. from Canada. But I guess it still hits you with the same, because it's the country of origin.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Can't do it. Won't work.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, trust me. Everyone's trying to figure out how to circumvent that. You know what I mean? And honestly, for me, I'm just like, the way things are going right now, I'm just going to wait. Like, I mean, I have to pay obviously for what's coming in. Like, I knew that was going to happen. I need the stuff, whatever. It is what it is. But right now, we're just like, let's just wait, because sorry, that was weird. I just heard a weird tapping noise.
That was me.
So weird. No, I had a squirrel in the attic a couple weeks ago, which I got rid of. And I swear to God, it sounded like thumper. Like it's like
yeah, no, that was Jesse.
Okay,
it might be Jesse.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I appreciate y'all allowing me on this evening and giving me the opportunity to see if Chris is ever going to send me my figures, which clearly he's not. But I've actually got to go downstairs, let Stupid and Rosie out, and then I've got to call it a night, because I'm old as shit. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you jumping on with us, and we'll keep working on Chris and try to get your product to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm just going to dispute the charge on my credit card. I mean, at this point, shit's not coming clearly, so it's time to take action.
I mean, after 2 years, I don't think they care anymore.
Yeah, no, they really don't. Hey, Dad, Y'all have a good evening. It was great to see you all. Love you very much, especially you,
Same.
Jesse. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah. Have a
Talk
good
to you
night.
later.
Endless Fable says this is so wrong. Jesus figures getting taxed. I mean, tariff. Yeah. What are they going to think of next? You know, that is interesting because I know, you know, this stuff when it comes in, it has to get classified as kind of what type of thing is being shipped. And, you know, it's interesting that there's no like religious exemption or something like that, you know?
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, like, it would be, you know, you'd think that there might be something.
What it should be is I should just have an old guy standing there going, diplomatic immunity.
Like Lethal Weapon 2 or something.
Yeah. And then this you know, black police officer who's about to retire going, it's just been revoked.
I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah. Which side quest real quick. I got to meet him at a one of the conventions out here, like fucking, I don't know, 10 years ago or something.
Danny Glover?
Danny Glover and Gary Busey. They were
nice.
Both there. Gary Busey was, you know, woo. But
yeah,
I lived
sausage.
I lived to hear Danny Glover call me kid, and he did. He's like, "Hey, kid!" I was like, "Oh my god, I just orgasmed."
That's all it took, huh?
It was so good because it's just like, you know, it's everything is like. It was so cool. Like it was one of like the local shows that they have every year. It was either Chiller or Monster Mania, and they always have like a bunch of different, you know, guests. And I mean, I consider Danny Glover to be, you know, kind of a, you know, a little bit of a up there actor, and you know, surprised that he was there, you know, because it's usually all those B and C listers, you know, that are there. And I actually,
Gary Busey, was it like a Predator 2 reunion or something?
Yeah. It was the two of them for Predator 2. And I had brought something. I have it still somewhere, but I had brought one
Danny
of the
Glover
Predator.
was the main guy in Predator 2. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Yep. And I brought one of the Predators to get signed, you know, but it was so cool. I was just like, holy shit. I knew the guy that was kind of, I think it was kind of the guy who was repping them. So he just got me in, you know, because I was working at NECA. So I'd worked on Predator figures. And, you know, he got me in, and I just got to go up there and get autographs for free and stuff like that, which is a sweet little deal. And, but it was just so cool. Like, just meeting him was weird and awesome. And I was just so excited. So it was them two. And then at another show, the same guy got me in, and I got to meet Piper and Keith David because they were doing a They Live. And dude, I'd met Piper once before, hanging out in the lobby at the bar at one of the shows after the shows, and he was just fucking spinning yarns and telling stories. It was awesome. Yeah. But then like I got to like kind of one-on-one. He was not rowdy. He was fantastic. He is. I miss him every day. He's so amazing. But to then see him one-on-one too and get pictures with him, and he signed a bunch of shit for me and everything.
And he put on the glasses?
No. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. And then Keith David, you know, after that, the two of them it was just like, holy shit, dude, this is awesome.
We got a question from the chat. What are the chances of us getting a Danny Glover Angels in the Outfield D13 figure?
That's interesting.
Yeah,
anything's possible.
There you go. May be able to make that happen. So wouldn't be able to let you go without talking a little bit about this thing that happened last week. Something about a dragon. It was end of a campaign. 4 Horsemen.
I mean, if Van was here, he would say that the shipping is dragon.
Nice.
Scale it back a little.
A culmination of a lot of work between, Treadaway sculpting and the paint job by Sherry, and that just long campaign of everybody talking it up, and Joe babysitting this thing and bringing it from con to con and all this and that. And obviously there's still a lot of work to do with the manufacturing process, and then obviously shipping once it gets in. But what are your thoughts now that the campaign is over and how it went? Did it go the way that you expected, or how did it play out compared to your expectations?
good question. It was a very long campaign, or I should say a long development process. Because obviously we showed it at Legions Con, which, you know, we were working on it for months prior to that. I was working on it for months prior to that, simply on the development side. Forget about then, you know, additional months before that for the sculpting. Got to have something sculpted so I could show it to the factory so I can work on the development. And so, you know, my thing was I was definitely gently pushing for Eric to get started on the dragon, because I'm like, you know, next year's the year of the dragon. Just saying, it'd be a good time to have a dragon. And then I didn't even realize it was like our 25th and 10th anniversaries. So it all like aligned beautifully, you know, to be able to have all that in that year. It was a wonderful year. As Frank Sinatra says, it was a very good year. And the campaign itself was definitely tricky because we obviously wanted to be able to sell it earlier, whether at Legions Con or close to Legions Con or the beginning of the year, any of those things. But, you know, I was not comfortable with where we were at because we had to estimate a lot of pricing with the factory. And, you know, the pricing was definitely higher than we wanted it to be. We really wanted to sell it for a lower price, and price is what the price is. Like, I did a lot to kind of knock it down more, and I was doing a whole bunch of, like, on the development side, trying to figure out ways to lower the tooling costs, lower the production costs. Because in my mind, I'm just like, why does it cost this much? It's X, Y, and Z. Why does it cost this much? And the factory is like, well, it costs this much because of blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go price it at another factory. I don't care. And ultimately the price got lowered to a degree. I think also what helped is the quantities that we were able to get will help, not by much, but it'll help the price like a tiny little bit. But it's not really, once you get to a certain point, that the price doesn't really get much lower. So we were going based on the low price, the higher end, you know, of higher quantity, good price. So it definitely did better than we were expecting and better than we were hoping. I mean, we would have been happy with, you know, like 2,000, 2,500. Like, it would have been great. It would have been a little, I don't want to say disappointing, maybe underwhelming, because we want to get this made. Like, we want to get it made. We want to get the best price we possibly can. Obviously we're a company, so it's like, it's not going to be 100% for cost, because there's bills to pay and there's tooling and all this other stuff to pay. But we wanted to get the best price we could. And honestly, other companies probably would have charged 7, 8, 1,000. You know what I mean? Like, I think our price is probably the best you would find for this piece. And getting, I call it 5,000, even though we're about 20, 3 short or something, whatever it was, 33 short. 5,000 pieces was insane. And that whole last, I mean, you guys doing the 24-hour telethon was fucking awesome. Everybody was just like, got such a kick out of that. It was such a blast, and having all the donations and everything. And, unfortunately, obviously the YouTube or whatever it is takes out a chunk of that, which sucks ass.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
But I mean, still, we were able to give away 2 all-ins, 2 extra dragons. It was a wild finish for sure, and not anything. I thought the best part of it was none of that was planned. Like, that was all just kind of organically happened on its own. Like, even to the point of like you guys coming on the screen. Like by the end of the stream, we had, pretty much the whole studio almost on the screen. And the only person we sent the link to was Jeremy. That was it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden everybody just kind of started showing up, and you guys got to kind of do your little curtain call, I guess, on the campaign.
Yeah.
It was just a really very cool, just point in time that we'll all remember. And the fact that it went from, 3,000 at the beginning of that day, basically all the way to almost 5, that was a huge bump that last day.
Yeah. And it's funny, every Kickstarter and every, kind of pre-order that we've done is always the same, always. And I remember when we did the first Kickstarter, the second Kickstarter, it's always that huge start and then a lull. And it's just like, we're not gonna get it where we want it. We're not gonna, it's gonna be nothing. Now, last 2 days, that day before it starts building up, the last day it starts building up, the last 6 hours, the last 3 hours, it's just a frenzy. And it's always the same thing. And I'm always telling them the same thing. Don't worry about it. Stop worrying. Stop worrying. And they're all always stressing. Like, stop. This is what's going to happen. Yeah, it's true. I'm always cautiously optimistic. I'm actually very what is it? Hope for the best, expect the worst. I expect things to just be kind of, and then if it is, then it's like, all right, great. If you start out with
expectations,
dude, if you have those high expectations and it just goes low, then you're disappointed and you're upset, but it was, I've donated obviously several times during that last couple of hours. Cornboy donated big. there was so many people just kept throwing money. It was that like the Fry meme, like, here, take my money,
Yeah. Yeah, super cool.
And we were like, stop, we can't count it fast enough to know what.
Yeah, at one point we had to shut it off. We're like, no more, And then,
never thought you see that day, right?
Yeah, and then Cullen still gave another super chat, and I had to boot him. No, I didn't boot him, but I did think about it. But no, it was just, it's an amazing piece you guys put together. The fact that we hit all the stretch goals is awesome. To where it ended up being, if you ended up getting the fire set, the wing set, and the dragon, you also ended up with 5 figures with it. It's just, just so much value at that point. And I know that wasn't easy. Like you said, your guys' margins aren't significantly high on this thing. So to be able to get the dragon and all these things for that price and 5-figure wave, basically, just huge amount of value. And so I think towards the, especially that last day, once people realized how much is included, it was like, this is a no-brainer. Like, you got to do it. So
like I'd said, before too, like, you're never gonna find that anywhere else. No other company. You're never gonna see that again. Like, with it being such a big item and having this, crazy large community with all these different shows, it just all kind of came together, and it was insane and tons of love. And like I said before, just big ass family, and everybody was in on it. It was crazy. And you're never gonna, I don't care, NECA, McFarlane, Hasbro, Mattel, Super 7, like, never gonna see that again. Never.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And thank you guys, because you guys did a lot.
Cookie says, we made a dragon?
No, we didn't. Not yet.
I'm sorry. What I meant to say was, Cookie says, we made a dragon?
Next year.
Vine Jungle Figure Factory says, I would like one of the pillars to be a kraken. I'm going to keep saying that. Not enough giant octopus squid toys. So
yeah, that'd be cool. I would never know. Down with that. Yeah.
Andrew says his whole campaign and the live streams and Dragonthon, truly epic. It was a lot of fun. I'll be honest, when we put it together, I was like, are we going to be able to fill 24 hours? And it turned out to be 26 hours full of just talking about this dragon. And I wasn't sure, And sure enough, we were. And it wasn't like we just repeated ourselves too. Like each segment, each show had like its own little niche way that they were addressing it. You know, we had the dragon combat. We had, you know, talking about customizing it. We had some other games going on. It was just a lot of fun throughout. Everybody did a great job. And then the generosity at the end of folks was, you know, I was both elated and worried at the end because I thought we broke Jesse. Like, just, you know, you get all these horsemen showing up on his show, on his channel, and all of the super chats coming in. Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and the channel hits 1,000 subscribers, right? You get like, you know, 800, 900 people watching, I think, at one point. You know, all this stuff coming in. We're giving away dragons. Jesse's trying to count this stuff. And at one point I look over and his face is like this. And he's just like stuck there. And I thought his camera froze for a second, but it didn't. He was just, yeah.
And that was straight up just because of all the people donating. Because like Curtis was like, hey guys, let's give away a dragon. I understood that to be, you were asking the rest of us in the show. Yeah, to be like, hey, let's.
I figured I would give away a dragon shelf half, and if those guys put up the other half, we can give away one dragon, no extra. Yeah,
and then it just started popping up, and I was just like, what? I was like, what is happening? Like, I didn't have the capacity to understand what was going on. Not that I mean, and I know this community is generous. I know, like, I've experienced firsthand. I've tried to do my part with it, you know, and it's just, you know, again, that. You know, what is it? Cornboy always says, we try not to suck. And you guys have a great crew of people around you that kind of lead by example of being kind and generous. You know, even though Van's giving you shit about selling some of your figures ahead of time, like, I think that's really cool, you know, to kind of whet the appetite. Like, you're still delivering everything. And I just think that's, it just shows how that's one of the things where it trickles down to the people where people see good things being done and they want to do good back.
Well, it's funny because, you know, Jeremy came on and he gave us the announcement. He had his little party hat on and we broke 4,000. And all throughout the day, folks were like, what are you guys going to do when you hit 4,000? Like, is it just, you know, it's done at that point? It's like, no, we're just going to keep pushing. And we're going to try to get as many dragons out as we can, you know? And sure enough, after that 4,000, he's like, all right, well, I'm going to go do some things. I'm going to grab a bite to eat and all this and that. And so he leaves the stream. And then I say that about the dragon and all the super chats start pouring in and stuff. And so I messaged Jeremy and I go, hey, just so you know, looks like we're going to give away a couple dragons. Because at that point we had enough super chats that we knew it was going to be at least 2.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? Like all capital letters, exclamation points. And so then he jumps back in. He's like, so where are we at? And we told him and he's like, well, we're going to add an all in, you know, from the studio. I'm like, oh crap. Like, you know, that's awesome. So
I knew that before you did.
It was crazy, man. So
I told my coworker at work, who's the toy collector, he does his own thing, but he's not gotten into the Legion stuff, and he always gives me crap about the cult I'm in and all this stuff. And I was like, hey, you want to put this in your pipe and smoke it? Like, we through the show we gave away 3 dragons and the studio gave away a dragon, like, and he was just kind of like, damn. He's like, that's really cool. I was like, yeah. Are we still a cult? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we are. That's fine. Wanted to pull up this from Jesse Marshall. He said, break Jesse. I didn't think Curtis was going to make it during Latin Legions. Those Latin boys, all hats off to those guys. I'm sorry, sombreros off to those guys. They carried my lifeless body to the last 5-hour mark. I was dead to the world. There were people in the chat saying, for the love of God, Curtis, just go to sleep. And I was like, I'm not going to sleep. And I was fading hard. And those guys carried me to the 5-hour mark. Then I popped a 5-hour energy drink and I was good. But yeah, those Latin boys saved me. So and then George says, Chris looks like Garth trying to be in disguise with a fake mustache. So.
It's true. I'm gonna rip it right off.
But yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we were discussing the giveaway on our, you know, our chat, and it was just universal. Like, yeah, absolutely. Of course we're gonna do that. And then Jesse got a nice bump on subs as well, right?
Yep. Well, and
Yep,
and
yeah.
yeah, Dusty brings up a point here. Then to have
Mhm.
somebody in the community win and donate that dragon to another person in the community that was not able to get one. It's like it was just a whole culmination of what this is all about, right? Like is just between the giving and the relationship between the fans and the studio and the where it's more than fans and customers, it's a family. And then you have, a member giving away a dragon that he got for free. Now, granted, he didn't spend money on that dragon. He got it for free, but it's still, a $600 dragon that he just gave away. Just so cool.
What was the call? I didn't hear all the messages. What was it?
Oh yeah. I didn't know which one we got from George. So that we'll have to figure out what that one was.
When I called that, I was
the fake
losing.
voice.
I don't know. I do know I heard from Oz that, or I think it was Oz last night, that the number is still active. Now there may be a different message now. But yeah, you may, I don't know. I was told call the hotline still. You'll appreciate it. So there you go, folks.
It's so funny because I called, I guess they're in Purple Gang or whatever, and I was losing my mind. I was like, holy shit.
They did a great job. It was
What was that number again? I'm gonna call it after
here
we're
it
done.
Yep. 561-247-0013.
Damn straight there's a 13 in there.
Bayathir hotline. Yep. Yeah, Rob Zamora. That was awesome. So
yep. Yeah. And I mean it was fantastic. And we'll never have anything like that again. Like, I mean, there's that dragon was teased for so long, especially for the last 5 years, like, when I started full-time January 2020, and then I was doing like the little, like the newsletters, the goofy newsletters that are for the in-stock sales and like all this dumb shit, and teasing it, and on the show having these goofy dragon toys and teasing it, and on the packaging, Nate teasing, little dragons in the clouds or whatever. It has been such a buildup that it was totally organic. I mean, we were all being silly and stupid and having fun with it. We knew we wanted to do it at some point. We just didn't really have real plans yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't ever see that happening again, even with us. Like, what's next? Noah's Ark? Samir's Ark? I don't know.
That's awesome. So now the process for you is really gets more underway, right? Because now it's getting the tooling, figuring out where it falls in the process as far as production and all that kind of stuff, making sure. I mean, obviously you have certain things that you guys deal with in terms of QC, that you're trying to make sure that tolerances are right, that you don't have things that are too tight, too loose, paint rub, that kind of thing. Like, and this is all new. This isn't something that, you guys have dealt with before. So what kind of challenges does that bring from your side of things?
All the challenges.
All the challenges, huh?
All the challenges. I mean, it's like taking a troll and a figure and putting it together and making it bigger.
Yeah.
It's basically what it is. Again, one of the challenges was the tooling, which I've already been going over with the factory for for months, that which parts to do roto, like something like the wings, because they're so big, can we separate them and have them assembled in production? And the factory did not want to do that. And I was like, yes, do that. And they're like, no, do that. And I said, why? And they said, no, do that. I said, okay. That was a lot of back and forth, a lot of drawing pictures. When I was there in February, there was a lot of me yelling. I want it this way. Don't you do it the way I tell you to do it? And they said, nope. I said, all right, well, I tried. So that's still going on. Like, I mean, it's more of the refinement of things now, like the wings, the assembly and disassembly of the wings, and the articulation in the wings, and everything's got to be Everything's got to be just the right kind of tightness and loose enough that you can articulate it. You know, got to make it tight, but you got to keep it loose. How the fuck do you do that? You know? So, but
What is it, Kegels?
Yeah, Kegels. That's how you do it. Yep.
All day, all night.
And you know, I know that typically there's like a kind of a back and forth where they'll kind of send you like a not the prototype or whatever the kind of working model is, and then you send it back and you say you need to fix X, Y, and Z, blah 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 blah. With this, do you feel like it's going to require more travel on your part to kind of actually be there and see what's going on to you know, lessen some of that shipping time back and forth of stuff?
I mean, yes and no. Joe's going to have a talk with them, a talk. You know, they already sent us the Butter Dragon, and that was the one we had at the Legions Con, and that was great to have because that had a lot of the functionality in it. Then it's more of like Joe was, you know, going over it. You know, I was having him do it together, and ain't no family friendly tonight, Cookie. And it was more of like seeing how does the articulation work, you know, again, having it physically in your hands, playing with it.
Four Horsemen o'clock live from China.
Not trading you any more Pokemon, George. He just got into Pokemon Go. And so having it and then sending it back enables me to, you know, really just go a lot off of pictures, videos, you know, emails and stuff like that. As we get closer, like I'll be going to China probably in July. Hopefully we'll be at a point where we haven't tooled it yet, but it'll be ready to tool and I can kind of go over it in person at the factory and really just kind of double check everything. Because there's definitely things that I want better because this is a big item. It's an expensive item. I want people to be as happy as possible with it. So there's still a lot of work to do. But again, it's more of the refinement now. And then once it gets tooled, then they'll send us a sample. And it, you know, this is a big piece. It's expensive to send. But I don't need them sending me a ton of samples, and I don't need to be going back and forth. Like neither works. You know what I mean? Having the sample, great. Going once right before they tool, great. Then they'll send us a injected sample. And then with the injected sample, then we can play with it. We can really go to town on it, see what works, what doesn't, and then they will continue to refine it. And then they can kind of send us parts because when they sent it to us, it was in a huge tub, you know?
Gotcha.
So now if they're just sending us a head or a tail or something, small box, you know what I mean? Like it can go with like a couple other things. Son of a bitch. They charge us a tariff to bring. It's tariff, the only tariff you'll be happy to pay. But yeah, hopefully that's how it's going to go. You know, by July, do the last, you know, review and then start tooling it. The big neck, the neck base, and the torso and the crotch are all roto. Possibly the shoulder parts of the arms and legs, or all four legs, depending on however you classify it, might be roto, and everything else will be injection. That was a fight that I've had with them for a long time because I wanted more parts to be rotos, you know, so it's hollow and lighter. Problem with rotocast is that you definitely lose a little bit of detail, like it softens up a little bit, and then sharp points get softer and rounder and since he has a lot of spikies, you
Mhm.
might see a little reduction in detail on that. So basically, we're just trying to keep all the detail, keep it as light as possible, weight wise, and functional.
Gotcha.
So a lot of moving parts.
Cool. Well, can't wait to get it in hand. It's gonna be awesome.
I
As
can
far as
tell you who's going to be the last to get it in hand.
Van,
Yeah.
he'll get it with his D13 at the same time. Well, I am really excited. I'm excited for the Dragon. I'm excited for the D13 stuff to come in. It looks fabulous. I mean, as good as I thought the initial stuff that you presented and what was on the Kickstarter, it since then it seems like the soft goods have gotten better. It just looks like everything's coming together well. And the stuff that you've put out at cons and stuff, people just been raving over. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. And folks, if you didn't get in on the Kickstarter, there's still stuff available at retailers. I know Big Bad Toy Store has a bunch of this stuff available right now. So get on it while it's still there, because this stuff is going to be, gone quick once it's here, because they're awesome. So
word on the street is, if you didn't get in on the Kickstarter and you order it from somewhere else, you'll get it first. No, just kidding.
I've heard that from Van. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then something that I might have in the next line will be with soft goods, will be like a Catholic samurai.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that existed in history.
Yeah. It took me a second to process. I was like, wait.
A samurai who's Catholic, wearing samurai robes, which may spin off into something else. We shall see.
I've seen that movie. Well, a movie that approaches that subject.
And in Jesus. So and Danny Glover, Angels in the Outfield, coming on the next version of D13 Toys. So,
hell yeah.
There you go. Eric Miller says he's all in for a samurai. So.
Yeah, that's being developed right now over there, the soft goods, to try and get it as because something like that is usually in layers, and that's not going to work on a 6-inch figure, because then he'll just be like, I can't put my arms down,
Yeah.
So I'm working on that. I think it'll turn out pretty good, hopefully. George Burns. Oh my god,
that's a good one.
Yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, I mean, I want to expand, outside of the biblical stuff. So,
don't leave yet, folks. Don't leave yet. We've got a reveal coming up. Just saying.
Done.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't give any reveals. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't.
No.
Yeah, this is something that
I
don't have anything to do with this.
Damn you, Wyatt. Wyatt, you don't have to super chat. I'd read your chat anytime. Don't worry about it. You're my bud.
All right. Well, hit us with a reveal, Jesse. We're already past the 2-hour mark. We don't want to keep Chris up too late past his bedtime.
No. You don't want to keep yourselves up too late. I can go all night long.
Yeah, he was up karaokeing last night.
You can do
Damn
it.
straight. Anyone wants to karaoke with me?
I'm thinking I touch myself.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to go back and watch that. I got to see what was really going on.
It was pretty good. It was one of the better finishes. Yeah. Oh.
Printer parts drop coming tomorrow.
Snap.
And there'll be a lot of stuff, but this is getting revealed for the first time here.
Mm-hmm.
And behind your back intentional, Curtis. I just did a doodle at work on my lunch break, sent it to Len. Next thing I know, like a week later, there's like a 3D render and these and he's like, yeah,
you doodle at work
when I'm not doing other stuff on my lunch break.
You go to like a private area for that?
Sketch on my iPad.
Gotcha. Sketch. Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Also, coming up in a couple of weeks, we got the Lehigh Valley show.
Who did that artwork?
Which one? The first
Me.
one?
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like it.
I literally just took all the heads I had just drawn for Len for Wolf King and then just like traced over the album cover roughly and gave the guy a paintbrush instead of a gun.
I like it.
But we got the Lehigh Valley show coming up as a street team. So some studio folks will be there.
Bringing the wheel, right? The big raffle wheel thing.
I don't know. I mean, we haven't done that in a while.
Oh, he said there's going to be some raffle type stuff. I assumed it was with the wheel.
If Len said something on Friday or to you, I'll go with that. I don't know what's going on with everything.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. But so allow me to introduce the next.
Chris
yes,
down
Chris.
below.
Sorry. This is really bothering me. How do you pronounce the name of that community center?
Charles Crin Community Center.
Is it Crin? Okay.
That's how I say it. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what.
Because when I see it, I see Chris, which would be CH. But when I see CHRI, I also initially wanted to say Trin, because CH could be Charles Trin, and it was really bothering the hell out of me. I'm sorry.
Oh, apparently you just got cool, Jesse. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't have the heat on in my apartment, so.
Gotcha.
What was I saying? Oh, it's the next slide. I think it's the next slide is the allow me to introduce the next character or characters, because it could be generic, is in the Hearthwood series, the Taken New.
Ooh.
Curtis, come back.
Why? I have nothing to do with this. That is a very cool helmet. I like that a lot.
So it's two different helmets that go over. It's the same head underneath, but there's two different styles of the helmet. One with the spikes and the feathers, as opposed to the regular like feather crusted one. And then I did two different paint jobs on the head.
That's cool.
And what kind of animal is this supposed to be?
Is that a taken? Taken. Takin. It's a type of sheep goats in the Himalayas.
Gotcha. Okay.
Rocking.
Oh, that's a nice body for it too. That's almost like a 12 for 25 type part.
So I've got them on a mix. The figures are not completely finished there. I didn't have a chance to finish painting the whole thing. But yeah, they're kind of like they're like a big goat guy. So, and they're apparently very aggressive. If you see them out in the wild, like if they stare at you blankly, it just means they're deciding how hard they want to hit you.
Processing.
Gotcha.
I like Terrence's comment.
Who did the sculpt on that?
Sorry, I should be on the first. Gia.
Okay. Very cool.
Gia did the art, the sculpting, because it's the same base head, but there's two different helmets that just slide right over the head and the horns, and which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm glad that I was not a part of this to ruin it. So thank you.
Oh gosh, you know what I'm not a part of, Curtis? The Art by Akerman channel.
It's really just how they do that is all that's been going lately, because I've been too busy for anything else.
You got to 1,000 subscribers before I did.
Yeah, that's, whatever. People, whatever.
You worked for it. You should be proud of that.
I mean, when you're on 25 other channels, it's easy to promote.
Yeah, that was my long-term plan. I would force my way into everybody else's show. And then after a certain time, then I would start my own channel, and they would go, oh, this must be Trevor's thing, or this must be Jesse's thing, or whatever. And so they would subscribe thinking that it was related to those guys. And then I fool them,
Nobody's signing up to your thing because they think it's my thing.
Absolutely.
I think the mistake you made was not having some sort of play on mythic or legions in the name of your channel. Like, some name that would have been great for our channel, but it was taken by somebody else. So running theme there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a pretty good. I tell you what, your intro is really good. I really like your intro.
I mean, it had nothing to do with us. It was all Broccoli Prime.
That was Broccoli Prime, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And
Broccoli Prime.
then you guys got the best explosions too in the business. So,
I mean, depends on which explosion we're talking about, because those original explosions were lit.
they're pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
you
even though
don't
they were
get
done by an intern.
the like reveals or anything that you would expect from the official channel.
I mean,
You know,
why would you ever?
Yeah. exactly. Okay. So
That's
this is
the
a
animal it's
toxin.
based on. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also
He
known
looks-
as a
he looks
new
huggable.
IGN. He does, but they're big and apparently they're very aggressive.
Well, big just means fluffy and snuggly.
You know what's interesting? I also sent some doodles to Len, and he said, "Stop messaging me. I'm not telling you again." I was like, "Okay." So, yeah, it's weird. But yeah,
Alberto, I can guarantee you she'll get it before Van.
there you go.
I can support this channel. Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a new show called Tariff Legions, where that's all we do is talk about one specific tariff on one product.
Oh, that'll work.
No, that made my brain want to fall out of my head just saying that out loud.
I mean, I think we should have a side channel to that where we can talk about hijacking your container that has a tariff, selling it as black market.
Let me, I'll check your messages after the show.
Yeah, I really would like a Supergirl. If anybody has a container of them, hit me up. I only want one. But yeah.
God, come on.
You just it'd be like, you know how like on Voltron they would go through like the whole episode of them trying to do things individually with the lions, and then at the end they form Voltron, and then they quickly dispatch of whatever the villain is. Every episode of G's new channel, Reaching the Shelf, will be him just trying to get things for like 28 minutes, and then Big Greg showing up and getting it for him. That'll be the end. Big Greg will be his Voltron.
No, you know what? Big Greg should then pick him up, put him on his shoulders. He can form the head.
They will be Master Blaster. I would love to see Greg and G do Master Blaster at Legion's Con.
Oh, little G, he's so cute.
Yeah,
get him reaching for that adult beverage.
Every time my boss at work is a short guy, nice guy, but short. But every time he needs to get something from like the top shelf at his desk, he like climbs on his like 1995 like wheeled office chair. So like way worse than the one Jim threw away. And this goes through my head every time I see him. He like reaches up and he's like stretching out, and I just hear. Am I delayed again?
Nope. Yeah, and as Joe says, it was a really good chair. It was a really good chair. He's still upset about it. Awesome. Well, Chris, we really appreciate you jumping on, giving us the skinny on D13. We talked a little Armies of Ashmore, some Dragon. We talked about hijacking trailers. It was a good conversation. We appreciate you jumping on with us. So,
one might say I gave you the straight poop.
One might say that. That's true. So,
that one would be me.
There you go. Folks, tune in to Fourish Horseman o'clock on Wednesdays around 4, somewhat.
If you want my weekly the Gawrych household story adventure, how many days to my birthday, all the good stuff of the show, be there at 4.
Yeah.
If you just want George, 4:15, 4:20, whenever he shows up.
Gotcha. Countdown to 50, countdown to 100. has both of those.
Never too early. Never
Yeah,
too early.
exactly.
See? It's never too early.
And like I said, if you did
Jordan.
not get in on the Kickstarter, first of all, what's wrong with you? But second of all, there's still stuff available. Big Bad Toy Store, get on it now because these things are going to be flying like hotcakes. Which, yes, Jesse, hotcakes do still sell very well. So
and if you didn't get in on the Kickstarter, I do have
that. Yeah, that's for if you didn't get it on the Kickstarter.
I do have one order that I can still sell you. So
is it
contact
Vans?
me. I can't say if it is or isn't, but it is.
I don't think
we can deal. We could deal in Supergirl figures.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
I don't mind getting paid in Supergirl figures.
Yeah, got Supergirls. We can make a trade. So,
yeah.
Well, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. We are going to put you backstage and close out the show. If you've got to run, we totally understand. If not, hang out, and we will be right back with you.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot. Well, there you go. That is a show. Jesse, I know at the beginning we told folks next Sunday, no show. But I don't know if you remember, also May 4th, probably not going to have a show there either. So, because that's where I'll be in California. So I don't know if I'll be able to make that one. So we will not have one on the 20th. Most likely we will have one on the 27th and probably not on the 4th, which is very unlike us. We've been pretty steady going hard for the last few years. So please bear with us, folks, while we take a few weeks off over this month. We just got some family stuff that we're dealing with. Because priorities, folks, priorities. You gotta put your family first every now and then, once in a while. Make them feel good about themselves. So
I think Curtis, is Trevor calling us the A team?
I think he is, because if you can find us, you can hire the A team.
Man.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh wow, man!
Which one am I?
You're welcome, Boba Chuck. Wait, where'd you go? There you go. I'm Murdoch. Come on.
You're definitely Murdoch. Can I be BA?
Whoever. Yes, you can.
Sweet. Actually, you know what? Chris would make a great Murdoch.
You're CA Baracus.
Yeah. You could be the what's the guy in charge with the cigar? You could be that guy.
Hannibal? I'm not that smart.
I don't know.
Or smooth.
I could see you with a cigar going, love it when a plan comes together.
As long as it's a pretzel stick.
Instead of a cigar?
Yeah.
It'll be a mesquite pretzel stick.
No. Like a bag of like Snyder's, like the pretzel rods that are like this big. I just have like a bag of them on the side of my hip that I just like, because they'll get soggy, if you keep them in your mouth too long.
Oh, that's awesome. So, and for folks that are going to the California Mythic meetup, I am going to try to make it. I cannot make any commitments. The meetup, it just so happens that I'm going to be an hour and a half away from the meetup when it occurs. I haven't been to California, and I think Darla I thought it was a few years ago. Darla said it's been 10 years. It's been a long time. And I just so happen I'll be in California as the Mythic meetup will happen.
You've been to California?
Yes. I know I don't talk about it like, it's not like South Africa or anything, but anyway,
I've never known you to go anywhere except Michigan and New Jersey.
I will be in California during the Mythic meetup. Our daughter's wedding is on the same day as the meetup, but it's not till the afternoon. So I'm going to try to see if I can make it out there. If I do, it'll only be for like an hour. So if anybody's changing their plans based on, little me being out there, just know that it'll be a quick one. But the next day on Sunday, we will be out there most of the whole day, because I understand, and I understand the meetup is only for Saturday, but on Sunday, there's this Toy Fusion where I guess they do some like toy trading and things like that. We'll be there for a good portion of the day on Sunday. So if I make it to the meetup, it'll probably only be for an hour, but Sunday I will be there quite a bit. So if anybody is planning on going to Sacramento and spending a weekend there, you may see me.
You said Toy Fusion. I thought it was like those restaurants where they mix different like cultural foods together or whatever. And I was like, how are you going to eat different toys? That doesn't seem like it'd be very healthy.
Yeah, they just add some like wasabi to it, I think. So Yeah.
Did you ever see that little video of the little girl where they give her like the tiny little spoon of wasabi and she's like, help. Like she's sitting at her like dinner table or whatever, and her face is all messy from whatever eating, and she really wants it. Like, you sure you're not gonna like it? She's like, yeah, and they give it to her, and she's just like, oh, it's just this meekest little sound.
Oh, that's awesome.
All
right. Well, that's a show. No show next week, folks. I will be watching WrestleMania. If you want, feel free to, if you're a wrestling person, feel free to message me on what you think of the matches. So yeah, I think that's it, man.
I'll be hanging out with my brother and sister-in-law. You can message me about the wrestling matches too, but I will have no idea what you're talking about.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. So when Jesse says that he can't see John Cena, he means he just isn't watching WrestleMania.
I've never seen John Cena.
There you go. Darla,
shout out to my fuzz monks and my flannel gang.
Darla thought that she saw John Cena in an airport once. It was like we had just, I don't even think we were married yet. In fact, I know we weren't married yet, but we were at the airport and she goes, oh my gosh, it's John Cena. She goes pointing, and I turn and look, and it was Randy Orton, which is a completely different wrestler, but she was still new to wrestling, so she didn't know, but she did see Randy Orton. She just thought it was John Cena. So,
okay.
But she did not see John Cena.
Right.
So there you go.
I don't know what that is. No, I know what that is.
All right. Well, until next time.
What's on your shelf? No.
Cookie, what do you think about convention toes? Keep them sheathed. Your feet should be sheathed at all times in public.